Hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to the channel. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What a day it's been, guys. What a crazy, crazy day it's been. Seriously, does some of you feel like the toy companies need to actually schedule these announcements? Like, this makes no freaking sense. I mean, like, oh my God. Obviously, what's happening with in Germany and Master Universe, that's a different thing entirely. Okay, that's whatever. But I mean, Hasbro is confused, man. Hasbro is very, very confused. Today was supposed to be yesterday was their Transformers live stream. Okay, so yesterday was their Transformers live stream. Today was their Star Wars live stream. And then I don't know what happened, but I guess the G.I. Joe team got jealous and decided to do some like leaks or their own like preemptive strike. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to talk about all of that today because I have two very special guests who are going to join me today so that they can help me navigate this crazy what the heck happened today kind of basically like pipe bomb in the middle of the toy world. Absolutely nuts. Guys, please help me welcome from Toy Habits, good friend of the channel, Michael, what's going on, my friend? How are you today?
Hey, what's up, Jade? Totally feeling the madness today. Yes, I totally agree that the toy companies do need to coordinate a little bit. And I think the Joe team missed out on their day. It is National GI Joe Day, so hence the reveals in the United States. I'm not sure if it's worldwide, but it's crazy.
The teams have to start talking to each other. It just makes
Right,
no sense. I mean, come on.
right.
How do you schedule Star Wars on the day of GI Joe National GI Joe Day? That's crazy. And then yesterday, I think they were all impacting at the same time because Transformers was yesterday. So I think
Right.
they were all fighting for this spot. Like, what's going on? Anyway, let's bring in our other special guest, of course, the other half of Toy Habits, the Toy Sorceress. Everybody, how's it going, Toy Sorceress? How are you today, my
Hey,
friend?
hi Jay. I'm
Good to
good. I'm
s-
good. How are you? You know,
I'm just
I think as revenge for Star Wars, interrupting G.I. Joe Day, there should
Mm,
be a Cobra hack next time there's
yeah,
a Star Wars event.
yeah. The Cobra Commander should
Whoever
could
needs to
take over
come
the
in and
arena.
hijack that thing.
They should have totally done that. That would have been crazy in the middle of the Star Wars stream. They should have just said, "Do not forget to check out the Instagram page." They should have done something crazy like that, and it would have like
Right.
Oh,
totally.
totally.
It would have been crazy. It would have actually great.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's nuts. But on the other side of the world,
Oh my
on the
God.
other side, we're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back on everything today. We'll touch on everything today. But oh my god, oh my god, you know what? First of all, I want to tip my hat to both of you. Okay, for being on top of all these crazy leaks that have happened over the past week. Just
Yeah.
absolute insanity, pure insanity. Give me a rundown. How was it? Like, what did you guys feel when you first started hearing about these rumors? What were you guys thinking? I mean, seriously, give me a rough rundown of what you guys were.
So honest reactions. So Lily and I are constantly communicating via Slack. And so when I see the oh crap or oh my God, it makes me worry because there was a lot to catch up on yesterday. And we were actually slammed at our day jobs yesterday. And so
Mhm.
we didn't actually get to all the leaks and the roundups until probably later in the afternoon, in the evening. And
Yeah.
it's insane to catch up with everything, but it's just also insane the plethora of leaks for Origins and Masterverse.
Yeah. They were coming nonstop at us yesterday. It's like the floodgates opened. It was a lot to catch up on. But luckily, actually, if you go on our website, we have a vast library of information. All the hunches and rumors that we were keeping up with this whole time actually helped us put together those leak articles very quickly because we had a library of information to go back and reference.
Yeah.
So we did our homework. That helped out a lot. Yeah.
I got to tell you, it was non-stop. It was non-freaking stop. I mean, like I'm a night bird. Okay, I'm a night owl, and it was around like 5 o'clock in the morning. And people, I was about to go finally, finally climb into the cave and just like like just disappear for a while. And out of nowhere, I get a message from somebody, and it was like, hey, you should check this out, right? And I was like, what the heck is going on, right? And I didn't know what to make of it, right? I had no idea.
Mhm.
I mean, we obviously have heard of deep discount before. They were the first ones to give the Snake Mountain kind of idea, right? So I was like, well, most of these are codes, right? So I was like, this is kind of weird. And I at that point I was like, I'll make a video. Maybe something could come out of it. We'll figure it out, right? And then I saw your article, and I was like, man, these guys are always on the ball. Like, the Toy Habits is the place to be. So guys, definitely check out Toy Habits if you want to be, right up to date for all the toy news, especially Master Universe. But pardon me. But when I started reporting on it, I was like, it is what it is. And then first it was Masterverse, right? And then it became Origins, and then it was like, wait a second, Netflix is getting on this, and then it does like all these cool words. I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is absolutely insane. And if it's true, we could very well be seeing a lot of Master Universe in 2023. I mean, it's absolutely insane. What was the most surprising leak for you guys, going forward? Because for me, I had a ton of them, which really just kind of floored me, and I'm curious to see which ones were the ones that surprised you guys the most.
So for me, it was the deluxe Ram Man figure. And so I think a lot of collectors are clamoring for a Ram Man in Masterverse style. And thanks to Jay from Geek Dad Life, he broke it down and kind of told us what this version is all about. So I'm sure we'll get to that a little later. But what about you, Toy Sorceress?
Well, one of my favorites that was announced, and I have the dark face one right here, is this furry guy. Grizzler. I was so happy to hear that he was coming out for the Masterverse line. Absolutely love that figure. And the one that didn't surprise me the most was actually the Talon Fighter. Why? Because we did a teaser article on it about a year ago. We did a massive look at all of the cardback art for MOTU, and we predicted, I think, almost everything so far that's come out that was going to come in the line. And that Talon Fighter had multiple cameos, if you want to call it that, on cardback art. So we were like, it's coming. Yeah.
Yep.
And that one I'm really excited about.
I'm beside myself. I'm absolutely beside myself. The one that surprised me the most, the one that actually surprised me the most was Whiplash. And the reason Whiplash surprised me the most was because it was listed as a deluxe figure, right? Traditionally, he's not too big of a character. But then I thought back to myself, I'm like, wait, he was huge in 2000X. Like, he was absolutely massive in 2000X. Because if we go back to Revelations, he wasn't that big. You know what I mean? He was more or less the same size. So now that they're, again, I think I'm wondering if it's New Eternia. I don't think. Well, we're gonna get to Jay's video in a second, but
yeah,
I'm not sure exactly where all of these land, right? But the price points. What do you think of the price points, though? Did we like? I'm not up on current trending prices. What was your reaction to the prices, the MSRP? Because I think Deep Discount gave it a bit of a discount depending on the figure. So what was your reaction to the MSRP listings on Deep?
So the MSRP on Deep Discount, I don't actually trust, because I think they inflate the price and then give you make it look like you're getting more of a discount, because those deluxe figures, like Too Bad, are only $32.99 in the States. And so I think from that standpoint, if they're Deep Discount's not going to be the only site that's going to be carrying these. So of course they're going to be at retailers and online.
Somebody.
Sorry.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, Deep Discount had the Origins figures priced at like $26 or something like that, which was ridiculously high. But just getting back to Whiplash, I think just because of his long tail, like, they have an excuse to fill out that larger box and then charge, the $30 some odd, just like they did with She-Ra. They spread out her cape and a couple of her little accessories, and all of a sudden she's a deluxe figure. What the hell? So, I mean, if you can fit Whiplash's long ass tail in the plastic box and put him in the larger, I mean, why not? Charge
don't
more money, Mattel.
don't get me started on
Yeah.
those. I mean, I
I'll get
love
off my
Matt.
soapbox.
I love
She's
them.
a
I
great
love
figure,
them.
but I don't know if
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
deluxe.
Yeah, I love She-Ra. I do. Hordak is definitely the
me
better
too.
value. Hordak is definitely the better value out of those two.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, even the movie He-Man and Skeletor, right? Like, I get it. You had to pay a license for something. You had to make a deal with the stout studios. I get it, but charge another $10. Don't freak. Charge a little bit more and leave it in the small box. You know what I mean? Make it a deluxe plus price, whatever it is. But don't make it this gigantic freaking box, right? I just so disingenuous. But you know what? Things are changing. Things are changing, right? It's just anyway. I'm just happy that we're getting these things. Oh my gosh, so many people in the chat, guys. Sorry, I'm not calling you out. I am flashing your names on the screen. But yeah, lots of people in chat. I do want to say huge thanks to Extendar. Thank you, my friend, for the $10 super chat. Great day for MOTU leaks. Oh my gosh, just absolutely crazy. And you know what? Just huge that we actually saw these. First of all, the Toy Habits and Yo Tengo El Poder. Everybody out there who's been sending us all these amazing updates. Thank you. Thank you for always sending us stuff. I believe that Toy Habits has an inbox specifically for tips. So definitely head over to toyhabits.com and click on that tip box if you have anything breaking news that you wanna
we need to get like a bat phone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hotline. Toy hotline.
Absolutely. Yeah, the little red one, right?
Oh yeah, that's exactly right.
That is so great.
Oh, sorry, you can't see him. There.
Oh my god.
They're on the back.
So great. Oh my god, that is so crazy. One thing I do want to cover with you guys before we get started on the main topic for tonight. Earlier this week, actually, you know what? I'll bring it up. Earlier this week, before everything else, before all the other craziness started, Canal dos Mineros sent basically dropped like a huge one, and really impressive, really interesting update. And you guys covered it as well. I think you guys were one of the first to actually touch on it, and I was actually really happy with this. Honestly, it's one of these things you just don't know sometimes what's happening on the other side of the world, right? But I'm curious to find out what you guys think about this. So, for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, earlier this week, Canal dos Mineros, which is a Portuguese Instagram page and YouTube channel. Guys, definitely give these guys a like and a follow. They are up to date on everything Master Universe and all things toy related. It was absolutely great to see these guys post this. They posted these amazing photos of what seems to be showing up in Brazil first. They're the one at what is it, Selo Encanto. They're the first ones to actually post this up on their site for pre-order. And I got to tell you, I'm actually really interested in these figures. They really are tugging at my heartstring, particularly because they have a different look from Master Universe than we've ever seen before. I think that, in my opinion, and I don't know about you guys, but they are almost more Filmation-like in their appearance. But they still have that wonderful toy aesthetic. There's also a lot of things I want to touch on. I want to ask you guys about these because they're not exactly your traditional He-Man figures at all. But what was your thoughts when you actually saw this breaking news, guys? What were your thoughts on this?
So I first thought, I guess Mattel is diving into a more of maybe a kid's version of these toys. But actually, when I saw the sculpts, I thought the sculpts were amazing. And the head sculpt on He-Man is so much better than what is coming out in Masterverse or Origins.
Yeah,
it's so ironic the way you're absolutely right though. I mean, Toy Story, what are your thoughts on everything? I mean, seriously.
I just got this crazy like image in my head of taking that head and putting it on the movie He-Man or one of the other He-Mans.
Yeah, or the I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but but the Mondo He-Man too, like that Mondo He-Man
Oh my God.
Filmation head is I'm not liking that a lot. I would actually put this head on the Mondo He-Man head.
Oh my gosh, it would be a little small, but yeah,
I
I totally get what you're saying, 100%.
Speaking of, I did a little bit of a wash on mine. I don't know if you can see that. To match kind of the hair color, and it vastly improved it, you know.
Let
So
me
I don't know
let
if
me.
that's sacrilege, but it looks great. It's not
Yeah.
like as bright yellow, and it's the color of
No, no,
vintage
100. I
He-Man,
can
so
already
other
see it,
bodies.
100%. Yeah, because it was just this. It was just
Anyway,
this yellow paint that was just like it was like
oh,
blinding to the
gosh,
eyes, right? It was
yeah.
crazy.
And
Yeah.
FYI, I feel your pain, Jay. I saw
Oh,
your review, your unboxing of Mondo He-Man, and the moment it broke, oh
no.
my God, I felt so bad for you because
Oh
I had the
no.
same thing happen to me.
Yeah,
Oh, so
it's
sorry
just
about that.
terrible. No, you don't have to apologize. You know, I got the email from Mondo, and good on them though.
Oh,
You
great.
know what I mean? This is the responsibility of the company. I mean, up here, like for me, it's close to $300+. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And
Yeah.
for you guys, it's not that much different. It must be closer to 360, 370, right? I mean, it's crazy. Sorry,
Yeah.
260, 270, 280,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know, it's nuts. My favorite out of this bunch, though, ironically, is Merman. I think Merman,
Oh,
something about him, like
Yeah.
I think it's his face sculpt. They nailed Merman
oh
here.
yeah.
Like the teeth, they almost look like whales' gum lines. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yep. Yep.
It looks
Yeah.
like
Like Baleen, right?
yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
looks and I'm wondering who was the sculptor of this. I would love to find out who sculpts these things because
Yeah.
honestly, this was a really great project overall. Which ones were your favorites, guys?
Well, I really love Merman and He-Man, two of my favorite characters, and I think Mattel is trying to find a way, or this company, I guess, to find that kind of in between price point. You know, just like the other. I think they just released some GI Joe figures that were like that, kind of like the 5 points of articulation, the
Yep.
lower price point, they're larger toys for the younger kids. I forget what they call that line, but I think it's great that they're branching out into that. And you know, this gives us a different form factor and yet one more display. You know, that we have to put another set of MOTU figures out there. We got to find some more real estate for them, but they look great.
Something
I
else to
mean,
spend our money
they're
on.
charming.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's funny
they
because
just have this cute kind of like charm. Good.
I just had to do the conversion of 18 centimeters to inches, and they're actually 7. I actually
Yeah,
thought these were 12-inch
me
figures
too.
when I
Me
saw
too.
them.
Because
Um,
of the way the packaging design is, they were reminiscent of Titan Heroes, right?
yeah,
So
Yes.
I figured
Yes.
these were Titan
Exactly.
Heroes figures, but no, they're actually 7-inch figures, which is kind of crazy. All
Yeah.
right, so thoughts are these because Toy Sorcerers, you brought up a very good point. I have seen those at discount stores, like not dollar
Yes.
stores, but like lower end stores.
No.
Like I think maybe an Ollie's or places like that, right? The GI Joe
Mhm.
figures, they don't have much articulation
Yeah.
at all. Actually, I think it's maybe even
These
this
are
4
better.
points of articulation. I don't think they really move. But that head sculpt
Yeah, it's true.
is just killing me, man. It
yeah,
really. But honestly, doesn't that look like a W? That's where I thought was a kind of like a bootleg at
Yes.
first. I was like, that's a W. That's not an H. But what are your
Maybe they
thoughts?
spell He-Man differently back there in Brazil.
That was a good one. That was a good one, Toy Sorcerers. But I'd love to have your thoughts. Will these come to North America?
Go ahead, Michael.
yeah. I think so. I don't see why not. I think there's a market for them, and it doesn't look like they are that costly to produce. Just given they're just kind of big hunks of plastic with minimal articulation. But yeah, I mean the sculpts look great, so I would hope that they would come to the mainland here.
Sorcerers?
Definitely. And just having that added shoulder articulation at the arm there, it just like totally opens it up in possibilities for display, and it makes it that much more fun and like a toy like a kid wants to play with, because now you can actually pose He-Man, So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that doughboy haircut. I love that 80s face. It's fantastic.
It is so great. And we do have to take a look at this because there's practically no paint on these at all. I mean, like we look at these and it's all plastic, right? I think maybe the wrist, the wristlets, I think maybe they're painted, but everything else, I think, it's a really budget. It really is a budget toy, but I like the form factor. It didn't really work with me for Titan Hero series. Like you look at these Titan Heroes, and for whatever reason they look stretched. I don't know if that's just me, but they actually look like somebody took somebody took a Stretch Armstrong and used that as a model. These actually look like they were purposefully, right, sculpted, right? So and I like the way He-Man's arms hang. You know what I mean? Because normally we got He-Man, he's like this. He can't get through the doorway. You know what I mean? But this one, it really reminds me of a Filmation style where He-Man's just a regular, more or less a regular guy with some muscles, right? It's just crazy.
Yeah, you're right, because usually when we're looking at the vintage figures, it's that stocky, bulky look. That's that hunched over look with huge muscles, and these are kind of like the low budget. I don't want to say Masterverse figures, but they are in scale with that line, and they're really slimmed down. And so I think that's and they totally look like the Filmation characters. Although Man at Arms does need a stash.
He needs that.
I'll paint that on.
he needs that Tom Selleck. What's it called? Soup strainer. He needs that Tom Selleck soup strainer. They really have cut down.
What that reminds me of? Oh, sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say is, for the Super 7 Club Grayskull figures, they were more simplistic because they, made them look animated, but they were that kind of slender design. They looked like the Filmation characters because they were, if you remember back in Filmation, they were tall and kind of lanky like this, with muscles. But they really represent that. And then there's also, if you remember the Super 7 5.5-inch figures that came out probably in like 2018, 19, they did have these little cards that were inserted with them, and they would say like from toy to tune. And it's kind of like in between, it's got that extra detail from the toy, but it's got like kind of a simplistic design of the cartoon and that look, that, stature of the cartoon. So it's kind of a nice little mix in between that. And those actually came from the first animated commercial for the for Castle Grayskull back in the 80s, before the Filmation cartoon came out, and that's the way they looked, as a matter of fact.
It's interesting.
I don't know if you guys remember that cartoon.
Yeah, it's interesting. You should say that, Sorceress, because that particular cartoon, actually, I don't believe it even made it on certain markets. Never actually saw it. I believe it was actually just a solicitation video for sales purposes. I think in some regard.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you actually watch the clips, they actually repurpose many of those rotoscoped because when Skeletor jumps onto the sled. That's actually, they kept that. They continue. They cleaned it up a little bit. They kept using it over and over again. And it was Filmation actually who did that as a contract for Mattel.
That was their test.
Right? It was amazing.
And like He-Man's little, like when he throws the sword back and forth in his hand, they kept that too.
I wish I wish they would release a high definition version of that, because honestly, it's the only way you can see it these days is somebody like projecting on a screen at a convention or something like that. I've never been able to find a full version of it. What do you think are the price points on these guys? What are your guesses?
So if they're like the G.I. Joe line that you can find at Walgreens, they're probably going to be like $10 the most.
I would pay $10 for these.
Yeah,
I would do that all day long. Like seriously, I would totally pay $10. That's like $13 here in Canada. So I would totally be on board with that. I would want to get the entire set. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping some Brazilian fans out there would definitely get in contact with either of us, and maybe we can do a review, because these just look so good. I mean, honestly.
We have Canaldos Rosmaneros on speed dial, so we can just contact them.
These guys are just awesome. Like seriously, guys, definitely give Canaldos Rosmaneros a like and a follow. Everybody,
Yes.
they are amazing, and they're such great guys too. And if you speak Portuguese, their channel is so much fun. I don't speak Portuguese, but they just seem like such great guys. All right, so you know what? Let's get to the matter at hand, guys. Today, holy crap! Can you pronounce that, Michael? You want to take a stab at it?
How about Spielwarenmesse?
That's pretty good.
I don't know German at all.
Better than I was going to say.
Sorceress, you want to take a stab at it? Because I'm not even going to try.
I was going to say.
Okay, we'll all take a turn at it. So what did you say, Michael? Say it again.
Spielwarenmesse.
Okay, Sorceress.
You like the German accent too.
I love it.
That was fantastic.
You want to give it a shot?
Speilwarenmesse. I said Messi on purpose because he won the World Cup. I had to give him a shout out.
Oh my God. Oh, Lionel Messi. Oh my God. I'm going to pronounce it. I'm going to try my hand at this. I'm going to ruin it completely. And there are actually a couple of German viewers right now. It's good. We're all embarrassing ourselves here. Jay got it down at Geek Dad Life. He got it down. Speilwarenmesse.
You got Messi.
I can't do it. I just can't. My apologies. My apologies for me. But I think we should all apologize to every German person out there.
Yes.
My God, just absolutely.
If we offended any German person, we're so sorry.
We tried, guys. We tried our best. And you know what? Please, feel free to berate us in the chat. Oh God, this toy show. Okay, I'm gonna try for the real or not. Spielwarenmesse. I apologize. This toy show is a industry only show. This actually was not open to the public, from what Jay's telling us. Are these shows common? Do you guys know about any of these shows, Michael or Toy Sorceress? What do you guys know any of these?
Yeah, I think I think it's akin to like some of the like back rooms at Toy Fair and things like that. Some are open to the public and some are not. Like there are places where the press can go and the public can't in Toy Fair and things like that. So, but I have not been to one of these particular shows. The only thing that comes close to it is Comic-Con, but that's open to the public.
Sorceress? Do you know of any?
I actually don't. I think this is more of a show for retailers, wholesalers, and different merchants like that, so that they could prepare for upcoming merchandise on their various either store shelves or websites and things of that nature. And I think that's probably why Jay wasn't allowed to take any photos in there because they're not supposed to reveal the merchandise until it's official.
Sell in their store.
I know. Just freaking terrible. So seriously, I really am. I'm beside myself here. I mean, honestly, why would you invite a member of the press, right? Why would you invite somebody as a member of the press if they're not allowed to take pictures? I mean, like
right.
the way I figure it, and I think Jay did mention this somewhere, that there is some photo taking, but in particular, Mattel and some of these other brands which have upcoming releases are not allowing anybody to take photos because, again, they haven't been announced or what have you, right? I think maybe that's probably somewhere in there. But let me ask you something. Just between the three of us, if you were invited to a toy show as a member of the press and you couldn't take, wouldn't that frustrate you to no end? I mean, seriously.
It totally would, especially if you traveled to another continent. Yes, it would be very frustrating.
Like I give Jay huge props for going through all that, hoop jumping to not be able to come back with photos.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And this is just between all 100 of us here. I would easily send go buy one of those spy cameras from Amazon.de. .uk.de. Sorry, I think it's just DE. And I would literally just, because Jay wears glasses anyways, right? I'd give this to his wife and say, just hey, take a look at that. Just look at this really closely. Don't move. That's what I would do. I'm sorry, I would be doing that like all day long. I don't know. That's just me. Because seriously, why did he fly all the way out there if it wasn't for that? Honestly, just crazy.
Yeah. They
Okay.
have like camera sniffing dogs. Totally joking.
So guys, the Toy Habits website is listing all these great leaks. If anybody wants to check them out, definitely head over here and definitely check out this one, the first article, which is all about Jay's trip to Germany, as well as some amazing new leaks that were not discovered. I guess not even listed, and that's what we want to talk about today. So guys, let's go ahead and deep dive into this, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun here. We have the video here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of...
We're not on Geek Dad Life, so that's not what was happening there.
Jay, you got 3 more guests.
We did ask Jay for permission to actually. We asked all of us here asked Jay for permission to take a look at this and react to some of the news that was happening here, because this is very, very, very exciting. Particularly because Michael, Sorceress, we were just guessing. Right, for the most part, we were just kind of guessing as to what it is. So it's going to be fun to find out what we were right with and what we were wrong with. So let's dive in here and see what Jay had to say on his journey to the German toy show. Because I'm not going to try and pronounce that again. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's been a little bit of fun for everybody, but we're gonna labor on. I'm looking if Oz is actually in the chat, because I'd like him to take over for me. Doesn't look like it though. Anyway, hey, who's in? Hey, Hatter's in the chat. What?
All right.
Good to see you. Good to see you, Hatter. That consent. I can barely see that. Hold on for a really quick second. Let me just. Sorry, I can't see what he's saying. The consent on the message. Oh my God. The concept of MOTU cancel.
Is that what that name means in German? I think Hannah just deciphered the name of the convention.
Oh my God. That's just absolutely crazy. Oh my goodness. Hatter knows exactly what to say when he needs to say it. Oh my goodness, that is just crazy. Thank you, Hatter, for that wonderful insight. I mean, like he has, Hatter's got these inside tips. You know what I mean? Like he knows people in the industry. He's on the inside there. Oh gosh, I think something happened to my computer. Give me 1 second, guys. Something. Oh, yeah, what happened there? But yeah, what was though? Let me ask you this. I think we were talking about this just before the thing. What was your out of the leaks that did happen? What was your favorite leak that happened when they first hit the floor? Michael.
Yeah, when they first hit the floor, I was so looking forward to a Ram Man, since we saw him in the Revelation series, and I think that one for me, like, I love the classics version, and so I'm so looking forward to seeing what they do with the deluxe Ram Man.
Yeah, I was actually totally over the moon about the Talon Fighter, because that's one of my favorite vintage vehicles, and I'm so glad that they're redoing it for the Origins line. And as a matter of fact, Jay from Geek Dad Life mentioned that on the Point Dread, the inside where the little computer terminal used to be, that was cardboard. He said that's now a molded plastic piece, which is like awesome. So cool, because that little cardboard thing in the vintage would never stay in. It was always like popping out. So it'd be so nice to have like a full-on Point Dread and the Talon Fighter that doesn't flop over or have a broken perch.
All right, yeah. I think I got everything back together now. So
good. Like Humpty Dumpty.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. All right, so here we go. Thanks again for that wonderful insight there, Hatter. We know you have the inside dope on everything. Hey, look who's in the chat. Ganaldo Sosmaneros has arrived. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's so great.
Hola.
Yeah, definitely. Please feel free to chime in. I don't have any mods in the chat, unfortunately. I wish I did, because it's you want to interact with everybody, but unfortunately, this is the way it is. All right, let's go ahead and see what it was that Jay had to found out at his trip to Germany. Let's find out.
Almost. That's all Mattel stuff, and it's guarded by security. And you go in, and it's very similar to like any other toy fair. It's like shelves, and they put their stuff on the shelves.
Mhm.
But the first thing I see is like the latest version of the Snake Mountain.
That's really exciting. Oh my gosh. I wish he was able to take some photos. Oh my god. What are your thoughts on the snake? Is it going to change? What are your thoughts, guys? Because I wish he could tell us, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he actually, I watched, and I took notes just for for the website's sake, and I did ask Jay to get permission for posting all this stuff. But yeah, the earlier prototype that we saw is definitely updated now, and so that fugly color that it was, that whitewash on the front, is totally gone. It looks more like the classic vintage version coloring, and also the snake is corrected, and he said it looks amazing. So yeah, I think they're moving right along. I think they had an early prototype at that press and influencer reveal day, and I think they had just gotten it either yesterday or that morning. So it's nothing like last second.
That's so great. Are you looking for, obviously, Toy Sorceress? You already pre-ordered one of these Snake Mountains, right?
I actually missed out on the pre-order because I was at
did.
work, and then it sold out. He got one, but not me. We broke the
Yeah,
news, and then I didn't go back in and hit the order button, but that's okay. I'm totally looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm sure that it'll be available through other retailers too. So
I'm pretty sure too. Anyway, we will be waiting for that. Let's continue.
It makes sense.
But the paint on it. Like when they first showed it, it was like almost too pink.
Yeah, it was like a pinkish purple white, a lot of like blended. It wasn't like a nice solid purple black.
Yeah, it's like, and now it looks much more like a vintage one, which did have some light colors, but that black and.
So excited to hear that they finally corrected that. But you know what? From what we understand, that particular press day, it literally just landed. They just sort of made a snap decision to bring it out to surprise everybody, right? Like that was not planned apparently. So holy crap!
Yeah, that's cool. And actually, I got to give kudos to Jay too, just from Geek Dad Life, just because one, he couldn't take pictures, and he also mentioned too, like he couldn't take notes because he didn't want to whip out his phone and start taking notes, like in looking like he was taking pictures, and get bounced by the bouncers in there in the security. And like I remember going to PowerCon 2021 and just having to visit that booth over and over and over again, and like just the recall that Jay has is amazing. Like I don't think I would be able to remember all the stuff that I saw.
Sorceress, you got to be on board with me on this one. If it were me, I would just be doing an order on Amazon and just like grabbing some spy glasses or something like that. You know what I mean? Just like I would do anything just to grab a couple of pictures. Like seriously.
Oh, totally.
Oh,
I'd totally go like, Mission Impossible undercover.
Right?
Get in there and get some images.
Pen cam in your pocket.
Right? Like crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally. Like just
yes,
like a little lapel cam or something. Hi guys, I just want to say hi to Canal dos Rosmaneros. They're great friends of Toy Habits, and we love to collaborate with them. And thank you guys. Keep up all the great work and keep the info coming.
Yeah.
Oh, huge friend of the channel, Masters of the Mini Comics, a tribute. Guys, definitely check these guys out. They're doing a lot of great voiceover work on all the mini comics that we knew and love from the toy line. Definitely head over there, give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Toy Habits and Mega J Retro sent you. All right, let's continue, guys, because we got a lot to cover tonight.
And they had Castle Grayskull as well. But guess.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, obviously, they had Castle Grayskull because of what Jay is about to say next.
What was in the middle between the two, John?
It's got to be Point Dread.
Point Dread.
That the validation alone is what really got me. I mean, like you know, obviously we're the front face of many things now these days, right? Like, and there's so many people who are just saying, and again, to his credit, Scott is onto something. I think we do have to acknowledge Scott is onto something, and we'll probably get to that later in the episode. But I was scared I was scared that we would never see another vehicle again, because Roton was a stretch, because they just have been sitting. I've just been seeing a lot of these vehicles and mounts just sitting on the shelves. So when it was leaked that, as you guys said, you were so excited for this, that Point Dread and the Talon Fighter had dropped. I was like, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. And now having Jay validate this, I mean, what were your guys' thoughts when we found that out?
Yeah, I was elated because it's always nice to get validation when, we do a lot of speculation on the website, and a lot of it is grounded in facts that we're trying to piece together from various sources. But yes, the Talon Fighter was leaked on card art, and so it was probably likely that it's coming, but who knows when. But to get to see the product page for it on deep discount, like, that was validation. But then having somebody see it live and in person was another. It's actually produced, and maybe it's not in prototype stage, maybe it's ready already and it's going to be shipping soon. Who knows?
Yeah, I was surprised that it was that far along. Jay mentioned that, it looked ready to ship. It didn't have its packaging with it, but it's basically ready to roll off the production line. So we'll be close to it. And I think it was the date of this summer that it's supposed to come out from deepdiscount.com. So, knowing that thing needs to be, pretty much getting done and getting on the water to get over here. Right. So I'm super excited about it. And that gives us validation. It's not going to get here by April 1st. So Scott, I think you're wrong.
Again, there are certain things we can talk about, Scott. Like, again, we're not going to make this about anybody.
I'm just poking fun.
Other than Jay, we're going to make this about Jay a little bit. But to me, the validation was the biggest thing, because all of us want this line to continue. I think that's really the biggest thing. I think deep down, even Scott wants this line to continue. But it's one of these things where I'm so envious of Jay. Although this is not this is burning a hole in his pocket. Let's be perfectly honest with you. I mean, but he's experiencing this firsthand. I mean, this is just absolutely, none of us are going to see these for months. You know what I mean? And it's amazing that he is sharing this with us. Like again, my hat stepped off to Jay. Like, amazing.
Look at his face. He's like absolutely
it was
glowing.
Almost like a double take. Because I was
Joy.
like, wait a second, is that the vintage Point Dread? I'm like, no, it's a new Point Dread.
One thing about Jay, which I love, is his boy childhood just peeking out whenever he sees something cool. Like, he's always been like that, and I love that. I love that about his reactions.
Ridiculous as the Classics Point or Talon Fighter looked on the Classics.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean.
It dwarfs it. Like, it's almost too big. The Classics one is almost too big compared to Grayskull when it sits on it.
So he's saying that this Point Dread is actually more in scale with what it could look like, or at least much better than the classics, because the classic Point Dread is just stupid. It's just freaking ridiculous. It's huge. Now, I really wish, again, photos. It would have been really nice to see if, like, I don't know if he said, I don't know if, do you remember, Michael, if he said that it was actually Point Dread was actually on top of the of the tower?
No, he said it was sitting in between Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So I don't think he saw it on there, but I think he does mention that he's going to try and ask to see if he can photograph some things and try and not to get himself in trouble. So yeah, you don't want to get kicked out of Germany when you just landed there.
That's crazy. Cora Burlett says, I haven't been so excited about Nuremberg Toy Fair since vintage MOTU was still on the shelves. That's excellent. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, Cora, you are in Germany right now. If I'm not mistaken, please let us know. Obviously, this is a industry only the convention, so that's just perch outside. Wait for somebody to bring something out. It'll be great. Let's hear a little bit more about what Jay had to say.
Really cool.
Right. Did you notice if the canopy had like windows, or was it open like the vintage one?
Again, this is, I saw it again like 5 hours ago, but I'm pretty sure it didn't have a window. I thought it was just open.
Okay.
The vintage one.
That's interesting. the current Talon Fighter from the Netflix version, it is a closed canopy, isn't it? Neither of you know that.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
one's-
remember. Oh, from the
Yes,
Revelations.
I have
series?
it.
No, from
No, the one from the Netflix cartoon. I have that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, from the
Actually.
cartoon. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a plastic.
Yeah, it is a canopy, right? It's an actual canopy.
Mhm.
I don't know, a little bit more like I believe the classic version does have window, that does actually have cellophane, right? It is enclosed, right? For the classics, I'm pretty sure it is. Interesting choice. I wonder if it's a cost saving measure on that level, because again, I think that any vehicle is a risk for manufacturers, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like producing such big stuff like that. Plus, I think if you have an open window, you can actually see the figures a lot better. Like there's not going to be a glare on coming back at you from the window. So
Got you.
Yeah, and also the vintage Talon Fighter has no windows either. It's just a cutout. So in classic style, for Origins, they're following what the vintage figures and vehicles look like, but just upgrading them and making them just that much cooler.
Cora says, "I am in Germany, though on the far side of the country, from Nuremberg." Okay, Cora, thank you for that. But I'm so jealous. So I imagine you're chopping at the bit and hoping that you could have climbed over those walls. So that would it's just so much fun. Oh my gosh! Thanks for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's hear what else Jay has to say
I
about this.
think, the leaks from, let me see, I'll share. Maybe this is going to push it too far, but was it $44.99 they're going to sell this thing for?
Yeah.
Is that a good price point? $44.99 for the Talon Fighter, or was that deep discount?
that was on deep discount. So I'm guessing. I think the normal price point for a vehicle is what, $29.99 or $32.99, something like that.
Yeah, but I guess you got to take into account that you get Point Dread with it. So that's
Right,
like a
right.
little secondary playset.
Yep,
Right.
that's
So it's
true.
kind of a vehicle and a playset in one. And who knows? I mean, maybe they'll pack in a figure with it, but
I was about to
we
say.
don't know.
Is there at that price point? Is there a possibility that it could come with Tila? Like
Yeah.
classics?
Oh, that would be
We definitely
that would be
need
cool.
another Tila in the line, right?
That would be so great, especially with that. Well, if she had that helmet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but with a much better facial sculpt, because the Talon Fighter classic version. What happened there? Somebody fell asleep.
Oh, I don't know, man. That was ugly. I mean,
It was just wrong.
it was not good.
Like
What
whatever
if we
you
got
saw,
like
if that is
a
June,
pilot
it-
Queen
it should
Marlena?
be a
Look,
finished
Absolutely. Quality control, right? Quality. We're talking about QC all the time now. It's just crazy.
Right.
product.
it looked like a finished product. It didn't, like, Snake Mountain still looked like it was had like some hand painted stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Point Dread looked ready.
I'm excited about that. Very similar to the way they did the reveal for Eternia. Eternia was basically, package ready. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that does not indicate that these things are ready to go. You know what I mean? Like they're like, these might be paint masters or whatever, but I mean, they're pretty much ready to take it to market, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh yeah, because if you backtrack from June of 2023, you gotta produce them, box them, ship them. So yeah, I think it's about the right time for them to be showing this stuff, because they probably have one right off the production line right now.
Cora
Totally.
says, I don't have any of the industry connections to get to Nuremberg Toy Fair, though I could probably try applying for the interpreter pool. That would work.
Yeah.
That really would. There are a lot of people who need translators. So give it a shot, Cora. Go for it. Go. Report back to us. but buy some spy glasses. Get there.
We want to see photos.
We want to see some photos. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Buying it for their kids. I think everybody that has a Castle Grayskull will want a Talon Fighter. So it's like, they need to make the equal number.
Yeah. They had the Snake Mountain there. It's further along the line than that. And get permission to shoot it. Because it's not like it's not known at this point. The second I saw everybody posting about it yesterday, I was like, okay, well, it's not. I'm not, saying anything that isn't known. At this
Right.
point.
That's so heartbreaking. You know what I mean? You travel halfway across the world and you can't even take any freaking pictures. I don't know. If I was Jay, I would just I would just be doing so I'm talking, I'd have it to my ear, and I would just be pretending like I'm talking to somebody and just go, yeah, so yeah, I
turn the back camera on.
There's something wrong with my ear. I'm having trouble hearing you. Hello. And I would just keep getting closer and closer. Oh my gosh, I don't know, guys. Would you have gone seriously? To me, it feels like I don't know. I haven't talked to Jay, but to me, it feels like they gave him the invitation, and he literally said, "Hey, honey, you want to go to Germany for a vacation in 2 weeks?" I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you think that that's what happened?
Possibly. I don't know if he got wind of like no photos before he went, and that would have been heartbreaking to find out if you actually got there and they're like, sorry, no photos. But I don't know. I don't think I would make the trip out there. I mean, I couldn't even bring myself to go to Ohio for PowerCon last year, so let alone Germany. But if it was like a Comic-Con where you can go visit freely and take pictures and just interact with Mattel, I think that would be great. I would totally go if it was like that.
Cora says next year. Yes, of course, Cora. Go for it. How about you, Toy Sorceress? Would you drag your significant other halfway across the world just to see some toys?
No, because he doesn't collect toys, so he'd be like so bored.
But there's beer.
I mean, he goes to stuff with me.
But there's beer.
He goes to stuff with me.
It's the land of beer, though. You can.
That's so true. I could have tempted him with that. He loves German beer, so there you go.
Tempt him with beer and sausages.
Sell it, Toy Sorcerers. Sell it.
Beer and sausages. Just say.
We do have fun at Oktoberfest.
You just tell him, honey, I have one word for you. Beer market. That's what you say. Just beer market. Oh my gosh.
So it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, pummel. It's a pummel. So the guy's sitting there going, "This is confidential stuff. We can't armor." Like, so.
I find it really funny that he was literally blocked at every turn. Whenever, like, even the Jazzwares booth, they wouldn't let him in.
Right.
Like, I literally told him, because I was chatting with him a few hours ago, and I was like, "Why don't you just flash that badge and see if they'll let?" And he goes, "No, I tried."
Oh.
They said, "You're a blogger?" No.
but if you're invited to the whole event, you should be able to go to the whole event. That's what's confusing to me.
Yeah.
I've had press passes before, and it's normally it's like, "Oh, please, take a look. Please take some pictures." Like, they're begging you to take some. But obviously, there's a lot of confidential things that are happening there now.
And what like press and hype could we see if Jay was allowed to take photos? I mean, that would get everyone so excited, and just with the doomsday news coming out of another channel, it's like people are looking for confirmation. And although it came visually and for him, but he's just reporting back with words, like that's confirmation enough for me.
This is interesting. Cora says you can interact with the Mattel representatives and others at the toy fair, though it helps if you're a retail buyer. Dang. And you know what? That's funny, because John did mention to him, he's like, just say you're a buyer for Walmart. Like, just say that. Like, I just need to take this for my boss. Let me take a small photo for my boss, because he's really the buyer. It's not me. I try. I would try. I don't know. I'm kind of scrupulous. I got the scruples like that. I would just give it a shot. Would you, Toy Sorceress? Would you give it a shot?
Oh, totally. I'd be like, "Oh, we need to like see how big this is, because we're trying to do our planogram and we want to see how much shelf space it's going to take." So I'd just be shooting pictures like all over the place. I'd come up with those.
Or at least on the down low, right?
Oh yeah, if you can. Of course.
I'm the type of person, just anyways. I would do it and then ask for forgiveness later. Like I would like snap, and run. I would just like snap, and just like take the freak off. I would go.
You what you could have done is just turn the back camera on and just like leave the video on and just have it like held in your hand and just kind of do that on the down low. They wouldn't know. It looks like you're holding your phone. Like,
I would
you're just holding it in your hand.
I don't need
Or
this extra shirt.
in your shirt pocket.
I don't need this extra shirt. I just cut a hole right here and just
Oh,
just have it in my shirt pocket.
there you go.
Here's a tip, Toy Sorceress. Nuremberg has 4 breweries, if that helps.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go. That would work.
If there hadn't been Point Dread
Thanks,
there,
Cora.
I think the Whiplash would have been like my favorite thing I saw there. But yeah, it looks awesome. Like, to me, it's right on par with the Too Bad. Have you gotten a Too Bad yet?
I picked one up this weekend. I haven't opened it yet.
Neither.
This one was surprising to me for one reason.
Because the Whiplash looks awesome. It's like a more roided up version of like the 2000X Whiplash. He looks awesome.
I was scared at the price point for Whiplash. I was like, why is this so expensive? Right? But now we're finding out that he's a massive character. Which leads me to believe that he's actually modeled probably closer to the 2000X version. What do you think? Like, obviously Jay's not here to tell us, but what do you think? Is the tail detachable? Is it just, and here's my concern. I think Toy Sorceress, we talked about this earlier. I really am worried that it might just be another She-Ra situation. You know what I mean? But according to Jay, it's big. What are your thoughts on this Whiplash? Because I'm excited.
So I'm thinking that it's using that larger buck that they've used for multiple different figures. Too Bad probably was a base for one, although that was all a unique sculpt with the 2 heads and the extended body. But they have used that larger buck for several figures, and that's probably what makes it like that deluxe price point. So and that'll be cool because then you'll have varying scales of characters and figures on your shelf for your display. So if they're doing that with it, and then maybe putting in a couple extra accessories, I wouldn't feel too bad paying that extra price point.
Too bad. Yeah, this one was surprising to me because I definitely thought it would have been a techno cult version of Whiplash like we got with Triclops and Trapjaw, but it's actually New Eternia.
Yes.
So it's New Eternia. It's huge. It's massive, and so yes, I think the tail will be detachable because you got to fit it in the box. I don't know if it'll come with a different style of tail or an alternate tail, but yeah, I mean, to be on par with the Masterverse Too Bad, that thing is massive. So I'm really excited. So I think from all the plastic they're pouring into it, it definitely is a deluxe price point.
I'm very excited about this, and it seems like Jay is very, very excited about it too.
That deluxe, that wider deluxe box.
Yep.
And I just love that's in a New Eternia figure as well, because I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Ram Man, surprisingly, is not as bulky as I would have expected it to be.
Really? And they're using him as a deluxe?
He's in a deluxe box, but he's not as big. He has additional armor as well. He has different armor that you can wear. Maybe I'm just so used to the classics Ram Man, which is he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I said this in my video the other day. The classics Ram Man is a freaking brick. He's a tank. He's absolutely solid. Like he is a solid figure. I can see Michael looking around, seeing if he can find him.
I see him right. I'm gonna go grab him.
Can you grab him? Can you grab him?
Yeah.
Because he
got it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Sorceress, grab yours too. Like seriously.
Okay.
He's an absolute brick. Like holy crap.
He's massive, and just to put him next to a Masterverse figure, I have Catra just sitting here right now. I mean, look at all the plastic that's on here, and all of the. He is massive, and he weighs a ton. He's so cool.
My apologies. I'm just plugging in some power. I forgot to plug in my laptop. I was staring at the battery for a while.
But I'm sad to hear that the Masterverse version is not as bulky as this, because that's what I was looking forward to. Yeah.
This was actually Michael's extra. So half my classics collection, I want to give a shout out to Michael for helping me build that out. Thank you very much. So they mean a lot to me. But this guy's one of my favorites.
Damn it, I need some extras. Anyway,
Let me check.
I did buy him off him at a fair market value. He gave me a good deal.
That's
I gave
okay.
I gave her the Toy Habits discount.
If you ever get another one of those, let me know first.
I
I wanted them to be more or less like that. That's what I wanted to be. I'm hoping it comes with an additional head sculpt. Because the one that was included with the Origins figure was not that great. I mean, it was just I don't even know why they bothered. Like, I would have liked it if they took his helmet off, just like with the classics. I thought that was a really cool gimmick. Now let me ask you this about the classics version though. What the heck is that? Like, is it a retainer for his brain? Like, why do they? Why is his head riveted? Why is that thing riveted to his head? You know what I mean? For the alternate head sculpt. Seriously.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like a it's like a hat, right? That he has on his head. But I guess maybe it's casual Ram Man, and he can still ram things with his head.
That is not casual. Those are rivets. Those are somebody took a freaking hammer and go bang, 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 right?
But it's less casual than a helmet, or it's more casual than a helmet.
I think that's when he takes the helmet off. That's what it looks like underneath. So that's why he's got that little shape at the top of his head.
Is that what's peeking out? Is that what's peeking out at the top of the helmet? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I mean, I have the head sculpt in my accessory bin. I can rummage around for it. I think we know what it looks like.
It's okay. I got it. Anybody has a problem finding out what it is? I did a video. Go check it out. I was hoping. You could see the disappointment in John's in Jay's face. He's kind of like, I really want it to be something a little bit different, and I feel that for him too, because although I need a Ram Man in my life, I really do. I really did want something closer to what they had just in classics.
Yeah, he's a thick boy. So this one is I don't know, maybe I do say much smaller. It is not as big.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was New Attorney or not.
Now, having said that, these are slightly different scales. So I'm wondering, he's seeing all these Masterverse figures all over the place. I'm wondering maybe if it's more or less the same size as this Ram Man, and maybe he's just like not remembering as much. But I will say that I don't think they're going to put nearly as much plastic in this one, because they're going to want to cut down on costs, right? So again, I'm just so I got this thing in my head that I want it to be. I just wish I could take the memories in Jay's head and put it into my head, just to see. Like, I want to see what these things are. I'm hoping somebody leaks out some pictures soon. Like, that would be sick.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Like,
hopefully,
I'm sure someone must have snuck a camera in there somehow.
Yeah.
There's
we have to troll Twitter. I'm sure it's on there too.
Mm-hmm.
If you really liked how the classics one really bulked up and made Ram Man a big dude, then you might be a little bit disappointed. And it also, because it was sitting next to the Whiplash, which was a big.
But see, that's my thing, right? We know that Whiplash is gigantic, right? So I'm crossing my fingers that he's at least in stature, that he might be the same kind of size as classics, because you're comparing it to this, because we already know that they're above. They're closer to 8 inches, right? All these figures, so Whiplash must be absolutely beastly. You did the review on Too Bad, right? He's huge.
Oh, he's massive, and just sitting him next to the Masterverse New Eternia Beast Man, like, he's on par with how huge Beast Man is. So I was really excited just to see how massive he is, and he dwarfs the other like Revelation and New Eternia figures.
Yeah, it was just incredible. Like, we got him early on, so now it's like I see him on the shelf and I'm like, okay, I'm like used to it. But when I first got Too Bad in my hand, I was like, oh my god, this figure is incredible, and it's huge.
Fills out the box.
Oh, totally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they probably assume if you got the other figure, which has the orange armor, you can put on the orange armor if you want. And then this one comes with the pink armor.
Oh, yes.
So there's that. One that's on the list that isn't there. There's no Buzzsaw. So there was those two. There was the Faker, which is a blue Faker. Okay. And what's cool is the armor is pink.
Oh, really?
Yeah. they probably assume if you got the other figure which has the orange armor.
So that's interesting. I like the fact that he's blue, but later on, Jay goes on to say that it is not the 40th anniversary Buck, and that makes me sad. That
Yeah.
makes me sad. As a matter of fact, you took some notes, right, Michael? Did he say anything about which Buck it was?
Yeah, he said it looked more like a slimmer version, so I'm guessing that it's the Revelation Buck that's just cast in blue.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it'll do, like, was he listed as a deluxe price? Because that would suck.
I hope not. Actually didn't check too closely on that one, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be a single figure release, just in a blue style. It's probably not going to be. I don't know. I'm trying to think if it's could it be New Eternia? Maybe. With the pink and purple armor.
That would be really cool because the other figure kind of started to warm the shelves a bit. And because people just weren't having it. Like they're like, we need a blue faker. What?
Yeah.
Who the heck is this guy?
Yeah.
So
I mean, logically, it makes more sense. I mean, how the heck are you supposed to fool the sorceress if you're blue?
Yeah, actually, if you bring up the article that we posted, I did find a custom that used that slimmer Revelation style Buck, and so I think it's probably going to look very similar to what this customizer did.
Yeah.
But of course, with different color armor.
Got you. It's like, oh wait, I thought am I on the wrong page? Oh, that's right. Sorry. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah. It's probably going to look very much like that. That's the He-Man, but it's basically the faker Buck painted blue. So,
but he's not the right
head.
He's not the right blue though. He's not the right blue.
No, not the right.
That was like a periwinkle. Or
he looks like he's been out in the snow too long.
He's got frostbite.
It looks like a Hook Mountain Lion, kind of, when he's in his cold form.
You can put on the orange armor if you want. And then this one comes with the pink armor. So there's that. One that's on the list that isn't there, so whatever, take this with a grain of salt, is Clamp Champ.
Yep.
Is that listed anywhere?
No.
That was exciting. Like he hasn't been announced anywhere. Like no. I had no idea, absolutely no idea that Clamp Champ was going to be joining the line. Because his appearance in did Jay actually mention if it was Revelations or if it was New Eternia?
He didn't, but just given that he was in the Revelation series, I'm guessing that they're going to give him a kind of more cartoonish style treatment.
Yeah,
but it's so funny. He kind of just casually drops that, like, oh, Clamp Champ was there too. That was just funny to watch.
I'm still very excited about that. The thing we really have to take away from all of this is the fact that there's way more Master Universe coming out in 2023. I mean, I just cannot see how this is not going to come to retail. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Coming away from this. But let's hear what Jay has to say about that.
I can't remember.
Well, it was the Clamp Champ, and there were two others that now I'm blanking on. But
I'm trying to remember the list.
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
He did mention that there was a Merman, but I think that both John and Jay forgot that there's a flashback scene with Merman where he's more classic, right? Yeah. And I think that's probably the version we're going to get. With he's got both his eyes. You know what I mean? And he's probably a little bit more bulked up. At least I hope he's a little bit more bulked up. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Merman's one of my absolute favorites. So I'm really excited to be able to.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't get to see this part of it, but did he say that the Merman was not as classic as we'd hope? Go ahead.
They have four set up. It's like Clamp Champ, the Faker, the new Merman, And that's what I assume. But they went with the purpley pink armor.
Yep.
They gave us a blue version of the one that we had in flesh color.
Right.
And you can swap the orange.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's that. And then Origins figures. That list that's out is exactly what's sitting out there pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
The Snake Tila.
So Snake Tila, we were all pretty much confirmed on. I was surprised at what Jay says next because I think it kind of flipped a lot of things on its head. Listen carefully.
Which looks pretty good, but I don't know. I'm not super jazzed about it. The 2000X King Randor looks pretty good. He has like the armor just like the 2000X Randor would, but an Origins buck. The like 2000X, there was like a 2000X ish Man at Arms.
That's crazy.
Yes,
that wasn't announced anywhere. That was
so
Michael.
Yeah, so that actually was leaked on an Amazon internal database leak a while ago, but we weren't really sure like what version it was. And so we were assuming it'd be like a 2000X version Man at Arms. So like this is what I mean by just connecting the dots from things that we've heard a while ago and today. And I was like, okay, this is again confirmation that we're getting a 2000X style Man at Arms, which is awesome.
The availability of information exchange out there is incredible. You can't keep anything a secret anymore. Like basically, like somebody's going to screw up eventually, and when it happens, it's just like fodder for all of us fans. It's crazy. But what Jay says next is actually really interesting.
But he had like kind of purple armor,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the snake faced.
It was like a horde trooper with a snake head.
But see, it didn't look like a horde trooper. It looked like an Eternian guard or something.
Wow, an Eternian guard Snake Man. And of course, we did have those in classics, right?
Yes.
And it, again, a lot of callbacks to 2000X or possibly New Eternia. I'm very excited about this. However, I am a tad disappointed. I mean, like I was expecting or hoping and dreaming for the Horde, troopers, right? Mainly because it would be it's not exactly a new sculpt, although it was recolor the existing Horde trooper and put Rattler's head on them, right? But it doesn't matter, it's just that wonderful idea. But now we're finding out that we're getting a Palace Guard, transformed Snake Man. That's really cool. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And I don't think you should count the Horde Snake Trooper out because they could easily do it. And I think, left up to our own devices and interpretation, I think, we saw Snake Trooper and, we immediately go to the Horde Snake Trooper, but also the Eternian Palace Guard, also very easy for them to make. They've already made that Palace Guard 2-pack. So you have all the armor and all the buck for it. You just throw a new head on it and call it good.
But that one actually was on deepdiscount.com, the Snake Trooper specifically. Although there was a typo in the name. I think they inverted 2 letters or something.
There was a typo, but I wonder if now thinking about it, I wonder if it was not a typo and more an indication of something different, right? It's one of these things. It's
something
funny how something more indicating that it's actually the Palace Guards instead of Horde troopers, right? I guess it's because what really led me to believe that is as we're all trying to predict what's coming out, one of the Axel Jimenez's artwork of Slamurai fighting Slamurai, and of course the Horde troopers fighting against, I can't remember which character it was, but we did see those Snake Horde troopers in a card art. So as you said, Michael, we can't get them out. They're definitely on their way. We just have to win.
Yeah, that would be so easy for them to make. Yeah.
Eternian Palace.
It was on the Flying Fist He-Man.
Oh wow.
Card deck, actually, or actually Thunder Punch. I apologize.
Thunder Punch,
He-Man.
Yes. And that's why we're very, very excited about these.
Maybe that's the way they're going to go with that.
Yeah. Kyoto, you're 100% right, but again, security is so tight here. I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to like have my phone out like to do this. Like I'm taking notes out of fear they would like boot me out.
Oh, Jay, you're all the way in freaking Germany, man. Just do it. You know what I would do on the very last day of his trip. I would just go for it. If they're going to kick you out, they're going to kick you out. I mean, you're halfway across the world. Nobody's going to come after you.
Yeah, and actually, if my entry into Germany with an unsigned passport is any indication, that they're actually really nice over there. I actually forgot to sign my passport, and
really?
So they handed it back to me, and I was like, oh, am I in trouble? And like, what did I do? And I noticed, and I was like, oh, I forgot to sign it. They're just sign it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. A little bit of understanding here and there. I don't know. What would you guys do it like? Because seriously, it's my last day in Germany. I'm just gonna go.
Oh yeah, go for broke. Yep, totally.
Totally go for broke. Could you imagine the hero you would be if you actually got pictures of it and brought it back to the States?
I'm gonna keep whispering, like thoughts into Jay's head before he leaves. I'm just gonna say, go for it. Go for it out there. You should do it. Just go for it. You're leaving anyway. It's okay. Go for it. Do it. Just do it.
On the list?
No. Okay, so the origin stuff, I mean, they had Castle Grayskull out. They had was it Wave 12? Like they had that new mini comic Roboto out and stuff like that. Yeah. In terms of stuff we haven't seen, that they had those 4 figures, Point Dread. And we've already seen Snake Mountain, but it was a newer version of Snake Mountain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Snake Man faces, maybe. Or Man at Arms.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, maybe Snake Man at Arms.
Just use a real camera. No one realizes those are cameras.
That was a good one. That was a really good one.
This is to sell product for the next year for the European market. Mm-hmm. But this is an industry-only event. This is to sell product for the next year for the European market. And they've got new Masters of the Universe stuff that they're showing to sell for the new market for the next year. And
so, okay, let's get the elephant out of this room because we really got to do it. Look, I've been saying this multiple times. Okay, I've said it multiple times on multiple streams. I respect Scott. I really do. I respect Scott. He's closer to the toy industry than most of us will ever be. Okay, like I've never worked for toys. I've designed for a few toys. I've designed packaging for so many things, but I've never ever been in a room with a whole bunch of executives making decisions. Right? Scott's probably the closest person to have that. Yeah. Now, I spoke with Jay at length, and he basically explained to me that some of the sources that Scott's drawing from, he has some connection with as well. And the reality is that signals can be mixed, right? You can get the wrong impression all the time, right? I think this is just but here's the other thing. People have been noticing, jump in anytime, guys, but people have been noticing that, and here too, that Walmart hasn't refreshed Master Universe at all. Like I have not seen Master Universe shelf at all refreshed in the last 4 months. Okay, whatever product's on there is going to stay there. It's not going to move, and I have a funny feeling everything is going to go into what I call the graveyard. They're just going to probably start moving it over to that. Are you guys noticing the same thing?
Yeah, so I actually went to 2 Walmarts last weekend, and they actually had all of their planograms up, taped to the walls. And I don't know if I missed anything.
What's a planogram?
Oh, sorry. A planogram is the retail store's basically diagram for when they tell their associates where to stock certain product, and so they'll know where to put the stickers, and the pegs, and kind of how to arrange the shelf. And so Target has them, but I've never actually seen a planogram from Target. But Walmart posts them, around this time, actually in January. And so if you go and see these white pieces of paper with blocks of things on them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they have those codes on them, and actually they're getting really fancy with pictures now. They're actually putting pictures on them, and so
cool.
You can actually get a sense of like maybe what's coming out and what they're stocking. But so I didn't see any MOTU on the planograms, and all of their MOTU has been pulled off and actually put into the clearance section. So when you mentioned the graveyard section, yeah, it's all there, and there's no MOTU on the shelf at my Walmarts.
Toy Sorceress, is your experience the same?
Yeah, so I'm gonna confirm what Michael is saying, because I went to 2 Walmarts. One of them doesn't stock too much action figures. Their aisle's pretty peeled all the time. But another one was one of those big super Walmarts, and I actually took a photograph all the way across the entire action figure aisle, which is really long there, and there wasn't a single MOTU item on that entire shelf. But put a pin on that. The same exact day, I went to several Targets, and there was still a lot of MOTU out. So I don't know if it's a Walmart thing, because it's not gone from retail, but maybe it's gone from Walmart. Stores.
I'm thinking
not online, but stores.
Yeah. I'm wondering about this. I'm thinking about this, and Scott's not dumb. Scott's not stupid. I wonder if he does. And as you guys are just reading the signs, looking at the stars or whatever, and reading the planograms, right? and if he's just saying, like just interpreting these ideas that, you know what, and maybe getting some inside information from people in the stores and whatever, the managers and whatever, and he's just kind of like, putting one and one together and saying that MOTU might be dead at big box retail. I wonder if that's actually what's happening. That big box retail, the Walmarts, the Targets, I think maybe it could still survive at GameStop, although I haven't seen too many at GameStop lately. No. But I'm wondering if that's really where he might be what's it called, foretelling, right, what's happening right now. The future is not so bright for Master Universe, but I think where he might have misinterpreted what's been going on is that he made a very definitive statement. As a matter of fact, he did a follow-up video which said, let's have a eulogy for Master. And I was like, "What, dude? Don't say things like that. Like, you just don't know, right?" And again, I feel for the guy. I do. I feel for the guy. I wanna invite him to have a chat. Like, seriously. Just an open chat, just find out, what he's feeling now. And, and he's already put it out there that, people are going to do whatever, but he's fine with it. So, it would be cool just to sit him down and say, "Hey, look, you love Masters. We know you love Masters. Like, what are your thoughts on the future?" Right. And do you think that it's better that it came out of retail, or do you think it's worse? Right. Like, what is it that you feel as an executive, and can it survive if it's not at retail? I would love to ask him these burning questions, right? Mm-hmm. I think he pigeonholed himself, and he's either got to double down on it, or he's got to walk it back a little bit.
He did double down.
It's just crazy.
Oh God, I know.
But let's recap everything that's happened over the past couple of days, because there's a lot. There is a lot that's happened over the past couple of days, and we haven't even talked about the Hasbro stuff. I mean, the Hasbro stuff's an entirely different story. But yeah. So I did have I don't know if you guys were able to speak with Jay, but I asked him about Tila, because I was very very curious about Tila. I was worried that they were going to take the Green Goddess and put some scales on her. I was actually very very worried about that concept, right? And I think a lot of people had shared those same fears. I spoke to Jay about it. He said it looks like the 2000X Snake Tila, right? He didn't really get more elaborate than that. But have you guys seen the 2000X by the Four Horsemen? Have you guys ever seen it?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we have a picture? I think we had a picture of that, right, on our website.
Yep. Everyone can take a look at it. My problem with that one is, much like everything else, it looks more like she's got tattoos instead of actual scales. Yeah. And I'm hoping, my hope is, and of course Jay couldn't get up to it, he couldn't touch it, he couldn't I'm hoping that they have some sort of sculpt work on there. I'm hoping it's a brand new head sculpt, because one of the biggest problems for me for the 2000X is that you can see the ridge of her nose peeking through all the paint. You know what I mean? Like it looks like Tila's face.
Yeah.
It's not a snake face. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on the snake? Actually, there were a lot of snake releases. Actually, when you think about it.
Yeah, I definitely think that they, I think they need to use a new buck for Tila, and actually maybe I don't know if the one that came with the with Screech would be a good one, and that's what I might be guessing they might be using, because in the 2000X series she had a ponytail, and so she did come with a ponytail in package with Screech, but in 2000X it was actually a high pony, so I'm actually hoping that they kind of do her head sculpt right and just make her a proper 2000X figure, just maybe a little bit slimmer, a little bit more angular. And yeah, definitely hear you on they got to get the skin texture right. I think they did a good job with the skin texture on the Masters of the WWE Universe, Jake the Snake Roberts, in his snake form. So, maybe they can borrow from that.
Yeah, I totally agree with Michael's sentiment there. And they got to change up the buck a little bit, change the texture, add some more sculpted details into it, because we have too many Tilas already. Yeah. we don't want Tila to become another Snake Eyes, right? You got like 20 versions of her. I have way too many Snake Eyes that I care to count. So we don't need that many Tila bucks.
The funniest thing about that too is it's you can, and again, you guys like Michael, you're a statistician. Female figures in action figure lines don't sell well. I mean, like it's just it's crazy. It's actually a lot of people believe that's actually one of the reasons why they will not. Hasbro hasn't invested in a new female body in quite some time, because again, it's not worth it to them. It's absolutely crazy, and I find that unfortunate. But I do wonder why all these Tilas keep showing up. It's actually kind of funny how that happens, right? So what?
They still have to do Battleground Tila. You got one more left, right? The Battleground Tila.
Oh my gosh!
They gotta get their money's worth on that buck.
The blonde-haired Tila, right?
At least I could maybe you could double that up with Shirla. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something that you could do there. Right?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
But there were a lot of things to take in today. A lot of Masterverse announces, which is huge. I mean, absolutely crazy. How many new Eternia ones actually came out that was confirmed by Jay for new Eternia?
So the only thing that he mentioned was new Eternia was Whiplash, and he wasn't sure if the deluxe Ram Man would be new Eternia or not. But I think all the rest were either Revelation. Maybe Faker could be new Eternia, but he didn't say that. I'm just guessing that it could be, because why would you pack another just single release? Well, why would you pack another single release Faker in a Revelation box? But now that I say that, they did that with Tila, like back to back.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe Ram Man might be Revelation also, because I think if you recall, wasn't he like a little bit smaller than you're used to in terms of how he was animated on the cartoon? So maybe that's why his stature was not. I mean, he wasn't as big.
I mean,
I'm just guessing. I think all of the Revelation figures are a little bit more slender than what we're used to.
I felt like they did him dirty. They stuffed him into a freaking capsule. I mean, he was stuffed into a bomb, and then he exploded and he became a bomb. Like, come on, guys,
he's his own weapon. Like, he doesn't need to be stuffed in a capsule.
He's already dense as it is. Like, come on, like, why? Just launch him as it is. I was like, what are you guys doing? Seriously, that was the one thing in the series.
Some of that stuff just didn't make sense.
He turns around, gives the thumb, and then he fades off. And we never see him again.
No,
I was like, come on, guys.
They blew up and obliterated like way too many characters on that cartoon. It was painful to watch.
That last scene was supposed to be fan service. It turned to a hot mess. Like, it was like, hey, there's Stratos. Hey, there's Buzz Off. Hey, wait.
Yeah.
It's like zoom, 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 zoom. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the
Oh my
same
God.
thing that we did. They did with Blade showing up out of nowhere, just in the depths of Snake Mountain. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely insane. But you know what? It was still a lot of fun. But I think Jay did confirm that Revelations Classic Merman would be coming out, which I think again I'm hugely excited for that.
Yeah.
I thought I thought the older version, you know, the modern version of him was not bad, but you just cannot you cannot go without the actual classics itself. I mean, I'm really excited about that. Faker. What are your thoughts on Faker? Because truthfully, I've got some mixed. I mean, you guys have already touched on it, but what are your final thoughts on Faker? Because I've got a few reservations on it.
Yeah, I'm not super thrilled that he's just in the Revelation style buck, and I would love him to be in the 40th anniversary style buck. The fact that he's actually blue in color makes me happy because that's the Faker we know. The armor, I'm not too sure about, but I guess the armor swappable from the deluxe Faker that we got, so you could swap the orange and the pinkish purple armor. So, but I want to know what color his hair is, though. That's my question. What about you?
My question is, what's his head gonna look like? What's that face gonna look like? Because they still can't get He-Man's face right.
Right.
You know, they were really close with the 40th anniversary He-Man, but his face was a little too narrow. So I think if they made it a little bit wider, like the vintage toy, they would have nailed it. You know, that was probably, it was a proportion thing on that one, not really like the look. The look was great. So we'll see. I mean, are they going to get the head right this time? Who knows? Because they still haven't really nailed He-Man's head. And, you know, Faker is essentially He-Man's head. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Surprise to hear that Clamp Champ is actually joining the line when he was never like we had no indication of this whatsoever. I want I don't think Jay mentioned if he was a deluxe figure or not. I'm myself. I really want him to have a gimmick with the with the clamp. Maybe something even a bit more than just that little. I'm hoping he gets a secondary weapon or something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't want him just to be a slightly different version than King Grayskull. I want him to be his own character, right? But seriously, where did he come from? I mean, seriously, it was a shock to me.
Yeah, out of nowhere, and you know this is actually what makes things exciting when you have no expectation and no like you're not even thinking Clamp Champ, and then Jay's like just casually, and Clamp Champ was there. It's like okay.
So nonchalant. It was
great.
It was crazy.
That was a curveball for sure.
And then you know what? Taking it to well, you know what? Let's just end with Whiplash. I mean, if now everyone has just said oodles and gobs of praise for their attempt, no, their successful execution of Too Bad. I wish again. I just had these pictures that we could see because I'm so excited for out of them right now because again Whiplash is going to be the most exciting one, right? But I'm wondering does he have a hunchback? Is he upright? Like what are we expecting here? It's crazy.
Do you remember what happened mid-March of last year when Mattel did their week of reveals?
Oh yeah.
So I think so. March isn't that far away, and hopefully they will do that again where they just drop all this stuff on social media during that week and just make our lives crazy. But maybe you are not going to wait too long for that to see that new Eternia Whiplash.
Yeah, I think that may happen. That was a crazy week for Michael and I, and we were getting the website just off the ground, and but it was fun, and it was great to see all the drops.
It's actually our 1-year anniversary of the site, if you can believe it, too.
That's incredible. Congratulations. Yeah. Happy anniversary, guys. But when you think about it, on that note, this popped up on Mattel on Master's Instagram. And this is something. Every month, I Skeletor will release a challenge to my minions. I mean fans, and later share my favorites, considering the year a full-scale celebration. So, I mean, yeah, we could definitely see all these releases being showcased by Skeletor himself. I mean, this is just definitely a precursor to something absolutely special.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for what the future is going to bring.
So I actually had 2 predictions on that, and I did do an article on it. And it was right after our, Moti's going to die, and everyone was sad. And I said, wait a minute, I don't think so. What about Skelly? He just told us it's a celebration. So my predictions were that since He-Man had his limelight last year with the 40th anniversary Masterverse figure and the 4-pack of He-Man throughout the ages, basically how he looked in all of the different animated series. What do you remember? That was on the nice television box of that 4-pack of Origins. You had He-Man in, Filmation and, the New Adventures, 2000X, and now the CGI. But next to him was the same Skeletor, versions of Skeletor. So this year, is to all of you guys, we're going to get a 4-pack Origins Skeletor set with all of those different iterations of Skeletor, and we'll get a retail release of the 40th anniversary Skeletor that came out during San Diego Comic-Con. Those are my 2 predictions, and I think put my money on it.
All right, we got some money down on this one. That's awesome. Well, you know what? Time will tell. And I'm actually, you know what? You can't. Here's the thing. Yin and yang. You can't have black without white. In that equal parts. You cannot have He-Man without Skeletor. That's just the way it is. So you know what? I cannot see them not. I can't not see them releasing Skeletor in an anniversary 4-pack, much the same way that they did with He-Man. Here's the thing. If Bear Bricks is any indication of how this works,
oh my God.
I can almost guarantee. I'm probably going to eat my words anyway, but I think that Skeletor will actually sell out because He-Man's 4-pack is still available right now. Everyone loves the villain. Skeletor just has that presence, that gravitas. I really do think that he actually has a better chance of selling out his 4-pack than He-Man. It's still freaking predicated on the fact that it needs to be correctly priced, though.
Yes.
I mean, come on, Mattel. What the heck?
Like, a lot. Paying a lot for the cardboard.
Throw us the bone. Throw us and plastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mattel has no problems with plastic, right? It's the funniest. It's the funniest thing ever. The Snake Man, Eternian Guards. What are your thoughts? Because that blew my mind. Honestly, that really threw me for a loop. 100%.
Yeah, I think it's cool because you can start. If they're coming out with all of the Snake Men and they're coming out with all of these Snake Men extra figures, it's like you have to build your display around that, and you got to put, if you pre-ordered the Eternia playset, now you have some more figures to put in that playset. So I think it just goes along with kind of what the scene that they're setting up with 2023 being the year of the Snake Man.
Definitely, you gotta have something to be able to army build around your huge Eternia playset. So those will be great, and they're just going to get more use out of that Eternian Guard buck, and just keep cranking them out.
We also got to remember that a lot of us have forgotten, not forgotten, but I think we sort of glossed over, especially since all the hype and all these new releases. That the biggest playset that was announced last year was Eternia. And who was at war with the with the Eternian heroes? It was freaking Snake Man, man. It was a huge snake, armada, right? I really am hoping we're going to get a ton of these different snakes, like just all the different colors that they made for that display. I'm really hoping that we get something like that along those lines. And of course, these guards are poisoned Eternian guards who are transformed by the power of King Hiss. Right, and Snakeface, and any of these guys. So again, just bolstering their ranks, making for huge army building opportunities. I really do. One thing that Jay did mention, and I'm surprised at this too. Are you guys surprised that we didn't actually see any skeleton warriors?
Yeah. I mean, I guess for the amount of I guess, time and money that they have to go setting up and actually convincing people that to buy the Mattel's Masters of the Universe product, they wouldn't have put out more. So it's like it sounds like it was a little tiny display of a few play sets, Origins figures and Masterverse figures, but I thought, maybe they could have been, gone a little bit deeper and kind of showed some of the things that they showed at Comic-Con 2022.
Mm-hmm. And those Skeleton Warriors were a brand new sculpt. Obviously, you can't reuse any of the bucks they have now. So you'd think, they looked that they were production ready, basically, to crank out off the assembly line. So I still think they're close, and they're probably trying to space out the releases throughout the year. But we've been getting this stuff cranked out pretty quickly. So don't count out the Skeleton Warriors yet. I think they're still gonna come, and they're probably gonna come closer to when Eternia is being released, because that would be like the ultimate thing to like display with your Eternia playset. I think, right? Maybe they'll do a surprise and kind of pack it inside, or who knows? Because they are on the box.
I'm going to call it right now. We're definitely getting them 100%, without question. We are 100% getting them. They were there, for crying out loud, and they even showed the gimmick where one of them was cut in half. I mean, come on. There's they did. That's what happened. He was like, he's trying, doing the Walking Dead thing where they're just trying to grab at you by clawing at the ground to try and get you. Right? It was so great. I was going
to say, I do have a theory. Maybe they're saving them to pack in with Snake Mountain.
That would be cool. That would be
because we don't have a protector for Snake Mountain per se. I mean, you can have one of the evil warriors, but the sorceress was synonymous with Castle Grayskull, so that would be kind of a cool thing to pack in with Snake Mountain. Who knows?
You know what? The classics actually did release a Castle Grayskull man, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of would be kind of interesting to see a Snake Mountain man. I think that would actually be something very, very cool. What's it called? So the what was I going to say? Wow, that happens all the time. This is what happens when you're getting old. What was it? Yeah. What's it called? Point Dread. Point freaking Dread. I was so elated. As I said, I had my doubts. I was totally like, I don't know, Rotan just is moving. He's moving. But I can still see Stridor on the pegs. I can still see tons of Battle Cats, tons of Panthors. We haven't seen a Panther in Revelations, not a word of him, right? And now that they've announced this freaking, oh my God, I'm elated. I'm absolutely over the moon. We already heard it from you guys, but seriously, what are your hopes for this for this set?
Yeah, I'm actually excited to take the Wind Raider that I have sitting atop Castle Grayskull and actually set him to the side and do something else with him. But yeah, I mean, Point Dread and the Talon Fighter, they go, it's, what is it, like what, Oreo cookies in their cream filling. You can't have one without the other. So I'm excited that they finally got around to doing it. And I almost bought a Classics Talon Fighter and Point Dread, and I think the price point was just too much for me, and so I'll be very happy with this one.
Yeah, I mean, for $44 even, I'm super excited to get a Talon Fighter and Point Dread. I mean, that's going to be so cool, and you can sit 2 characters in it. I know they sit kind of funny, but that's another story. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be super cool to see your Origins figures like sitting in that Talon Fighter. Let's not go there.
You already went there.
Hopefully they fix that on this model.
You kind of laid your cards on the floor on the table there.
And I also, by the way, wanted to say hi to the chat. We're getting a lot of great comments and kudos. So hi to everybody in the chat. And there's
I am gonna go back and read some of these. It's so hard having this discussion and reacting to to everything. But thank you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. It's been an absolute blessing. Again, these are just snap of the hat kind of things that we do. But it's really important to cover these things because the validation has just been ridiculous. I mean, like, people always like, oh, you guys are crazy. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Why are you spreading? I get this all the time. Why are you spreading false information? It's like, nah, we're looking at the stuff and we're fans like anybody else, and we just hope that one of these or two of these things are actually going to come to pass. And God, this time everything landed. I just can't believe every single one of these landed, and that just kills me. Let's talk a little bit about the other leaks really quickly before we start to wind down the stream. And again, guys, if you want to check out all of the coverage on this, head over to toyhabits.com. They, of course, a wonderful site for toy news all year round, especially for Master Universe. Guys, deep discounts is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, they have pretty much listed every UPC, hopefully reality, right? That we can hope for. And on this particular article on Toy Habits, which covers the Master Universe Origins League Plus new figures teased, laser power He-Man, right? What are we hoping for? Are we hoping for the same gimmick, or would we be satisfied with just a origin style type of idea? What are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, you take this one.
That was my speculation, because I absolutely love the Powers of Grayskull line. I'm like hoping and praying that the line lasts that long so they can get to those characters, especially Hero, because I love Hero. But if you recall, on the CamoCon card art, we had Laser Light He-Man and Laser Power He-Man and Laser Light Skeletor prominently featured all over that artwork. And in the presser event at Mattel, they showed the upcoming artwork sketches for Eternia, and in the center of that artwork were sketches of Laser Power He-Man and Laser Light Skeletor. So my prediction is that maybe those could be the two deluxe slots. But, that's wishful thinking. It's me trying to take some fact and turn it into some plausible idea. But it would be great. And, the classics retained their light up action feature. So why can't the Origins one? Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And yeah, it's definitely plausible that I always get them mixed up. Laser Power He-Man and Laser Light Skeletor are coming because they were released not on a wide scale, back in the late 80s when the line was actually dying. And so I think it'd be amazing to get those gimmicks back. And it says it in their name. They have to come with those gimmicks. Like, what else are you gonna do?
I truly believe so. I mean, how hard? I know it's a lot of tooling. I know that and again, these guys were only ever released in Europe, as far as if I'm correct. But they command such huge price tags now. You know what I mean? Like people are just throwing money at this. Like it's second only to Eternia, right? In terms of price point, and for the size of the characters on a card, you are like, seriously, you got to mortgage. You gotta sell your old card to get one of these stupid things. You know what I mean? So
like the price of a Yugo.
I know, right? But I'm talking about mint on card here. I'm not talking like loose, right? But but yeah, I mean these two have to be released, and we have, by some hook or crook, they've got to be able to put, even if they actually only put the like, forget the battery pack. Even if you put 2 dime batteries in like the glove, and a couple, and another like 1 battery in the sword, something, right? I mean, they don't make any noise as far as do they make noise?
Nope.
Yeah. So it's just that kind of thing, right? Now
they make batteries small enough to light that up. I mean, you get them in those little pen lights and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if you get the little dime batteries, the really small ones.
Yeah.
I think that could work out really well. Now here's the eternal question though. Do we want a Dolph Lundgren style head on these guys?
No.
I think they should come with 2 heads. Good.
No, I definitely don't want a Dolph Lundgren style head, just given the one that they botched on the Masterverse figure. I don't think they would be able to get it right.
Oh my god, just crazy.
Luckily, well, then Ramen Toys can make us a new one.
Right.
She beat me to it. Sorceress on the ball. She beat me to it. I was gonna say no. Don't apologize. I was gonna say the same thing. I was literally gonna say the same thing. And then you know what? Dragon Blaster Skeletor.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, we already have we need this guy, right? Seriously. Power Punch He-Man's already out. When is this guy going to be listed? Like, is he going to be in this next wave? What do you guys think?
Yeah, because he originally came out in concert with Thunder Punch He-Man. So it's like I actually thought that they would release Thunder Punch He-Man and Dragon Blaster Skeletor together, but maybe that's too predictable. But yeah, I definitely think he is in the cards this year for a deluxe figure, just given some of the card art teases that we've seen of Dragon Blaster Skeletor. And it's another figure from the vintage line that commands a very high price. So I would love this in Origins.
I fully agree with what Michael said. These command a high price, and it's so hard to find one of these vintage ones complete with the little chain and the key and all the little pieces to it. So it would be amazing to get a new version of this in Origins.
Yeah, and then like I guess talking about gimmicks, the dragon, actually in the vintage one you can put water in it and it'll spray. But I guess looking at how they've done CamelCon and CobraCon, it's probably just going to be like a water blast effect.
Yeah. As a note, Mondo is releasing the deluxe Skeletor, and he will actually come with Dragon Blaster armor. So
no.
Whenever you say Mondo, I get like PTSD.
I know it's like shell shock right now. But
yes.
I unfortunately for me, I just have to, because you cannot have He-Man without freaking Skeletor. It's like bread without butter. You know what I mean? You have to have it. It's yin and yang. It's just, I'm stuck. I am stuck. But now I'm dreading that now I'm gonna have to freaking get Panther.
Oh yeah,
I'm already down this freaking rabbit hole so far. It's not even funny.
Speaking of Panther, King Panther.
Yeah, well, go ahead, sir. Just read it.
I've been staring at King Panther's comment for a minute now, so I wanted to answer.
Sure.
The figure that I've been wanting, that has yet to be made or has ever been made besides Super 7, is a hero character, Origins hero with the VAC medal. That would be incredible, and I would just love it. And I want him to have an actual cloth cape. I wasn't a big fan of the cape that came on Randor, the plastic one. I did switch it out. FYI, if you buy the cape that Cape Master sells for the DC the Superpowers Dark Side, it works perfectly on King Randor. So that's how my King Randor is displayed. But I would love to see a hero and build out that Powers of Grayskull line. That's where I want it to go. Go ahead, Michael.
I would actually love them to build out the Powers of Grayskull line, and the two big elephants in the Powers of Grayskull line are the giants, Megator and Titus, and so I would love to see them in Origin scale, like as grand as they were in the vintage line. With Megator coming with the rooted hair, and I think in that similar box style that was released in Europe. Again, like those figures command $5,000 or $6,000 if you want to get them on the aftermarket in box. I think they're a lot less loose, but still a few $1,000s. But I would love to see some giants in the line.
Yeah, Megator. Oh my gosh, it would be absolutely crazy. All right, so Snakeface, when is he coming?
So I think Canal dos Rosmaneros broke the news to us. that they are coming in like all of the Snake Men are coming in 2023. So
Excellent.
hopefully they are spot on. And we've seen Snake Face on the card art, and this is one of my absolute favorite Snake Men. I love the gimmick. I just love how creepy and just Medusa like he looks, and I can't wait for this guy.
Sorceress?
So in my opinion, he creeps me out a little bit too much, but not to say that he's not cool. And the reason I actually threw him into the deluxe figure category is because he's got so much extra tooling on him and these little gimmicks, with the lever and the pop out eyes and all the little pop out snakes, that I paired him up with the Dragon Blaster Skeletor for that like second slot of deluxe figures if it wasn't the Laser Power He-Man and Laser Light Skeletor. So that was my prediction, but I could be wrong.
I'm worried because Rattler is one of my absolute all-time favorite figures for his gimmick, and they completely removed it from him. I am somewhat concerned that they're just going to head swap him. You know what I mean, with the eyes and the shoulders. I really do hope that they go that extra mile and give us the gimmick. That would be just absolutely ridiculous. Then we get to some interesting holdouts, very much holdouts. Spike-Gar was already released under the Masterverse brand. A lot of people have been clamoring for this guy. Will he be released? I guess we're hoping that he's one of these numbers here, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. So this was another one of the Amazon database leaks, and so he was teased on I think two card art now, and that is a very amazing custom by a man by the name of Stronnox Customs. I'm sure lots of folks are familiar with him, and he made an Origin Spike-Gar, and I was like, "This." I know
him very well now.
But yeah, I definitely think he's also coming to the line, and I hope he takes up one of those slots.
I miss him. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I totally agree with Michael, because that was part of that leak list. He is one of those classic, baseline characters that we have yet to get, part of that core team. And it's amazing that we're this far down the line with all of these other more obscure and deep cuts, and we still haven't gotten a Spike-Gar. So come on, get with it, Mattel.
Speaking of deep cuts, I mean, Squeeze. Squeeze is one of those fan favorites. Again, he's just got that great gimmick. If they don't give us a real Squeeze, I'm out. I'm just out. I mean,
you heard it here.
I'm absolutely out. Hopefully he'll make it into the line soon.
Yeah.
Well, Squeeze was actually one of them that's been on multiple card arts, and one that Canaldos Rosmaneros leaked to us last year that was supposed to be coming to the line with all the rest of the Snake Men. So we called that one way early based on the information they gave us, and they've been right, to the T so far. So I think he's coming.
Yeah.
And you guys nailed it. There he is, the Eternian Guard Infiltrator. So we now know that this guy is actually, right on the line. So super happy we're getting this guy.
Yeah, this one's great. I think I did have this figure in Classics at some point. It's now gone. I think I traded it. I traded that whole set of 4 of them. I think I had 2 packs smushed together for a Transformers vintage combiner. I forget which one it was. Sold my soul for that one.
You sold your soul.
Absolutely. This has been an amazing look into just how things get around. I mean, things. There's always going to be the rumor mill. The rumor mill is always going to be around. Things are always just going to. People are going to always be chatting, and some people know, some people don't. If you know, you know. But it's been an absolute incredible ride, which went from 0 to 200 in a couple of days. It was just absolutely nuts. Are you guys surprised at all at how quickly this came about?
You know what? It goes in spurts, and so there could be 0 news for a while, and then all of a sudden it just kicks up, and it kicks up with a force. And so
Yeah.
that's the problem with, the conundrum with having day jobs. Like if you have a day job, then you can afford toys, but it's hard to keep up with this stuff sometimes.
Those pesky
Oh my
day
God, I
jobs.
know.
Oh my god.
You know, right?
Pesky day jobs, and I have a commute too on top of it, all a long one. So that
Oh
doesn't
no.
help.
Oh no. Just crazy. Just before we start to wind down, guys, let's do a really quick let's do a really quick check on today's other top. Again, we've just been inundated with craziness, just absolute insanity today. Guys, G.I. Joe has just exploded, and again, these toy companies need to figure out their scheduling, man. Like this is absolutely crazy. Let's go ahead. I mean, up here in Canada, you can't go anywhere without a good snow job. So I mean, I knew that was gonna get a reaction. So easy there, everybody. Easy there. So snow job, guys. Holy crap! Honestly, we've had digital renders of this guy, but seeing him fully painted up, I'm beyond amazed with this. Holy crap! What are your thoughts when you guys saw this? This is just out of this world.
Yeah, you had a fantastic reaction to this toy sorceress.
I absolutely loved this figure, and I actually have a vintage Snowcat with a snow job in there, so it's one of my favorites. Super excited to see the little alternate head with the parka that's down and the 80s goggles. I absolutely love that. His little skiing sticks or whatever and his skis, and look at that backpack, man. Like he's got all his gear like strapped onto it, and that parka looks just fantastic. There's tons of detail in there. Just G.I. Joe Classified has been totally knocking it out of the park, and what I love is that they're bringing it back to that vintage style that we all love of a real American hero. I mean, that's what we grew up with in the 80s. And, when Classified first came out and they were very kind of futuristic and a little bit sci-fi, I was kind of turned off. But these look great. And every single new release they've been giving us is just like, so nostalgic. I love it. Can't say enough good words.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I'm going to add on to that is I love the 80s style snow goggles that he comes with. That's my favorite part.
They're the Oakleys. They're
Oh yeah, he's got Oakleys. Those are great.
Is he a deluxe figure? Because this is a lot of stuff. Holy crap! I don't think so.
It seemed like all of the releases that they revealed today actually potentially are deluxe figures. So I wouldn't put it past them to make this a deluxe figure.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then something which has been again a fan freaking favorite. Oh my gosh, this is just nuts. The scrap iron. Holy crap!
Wow.
Look at that. Like he's got to be a deluxe.
Yeah.
He has to be a deluxe.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally. And I hope that drone is that scale and it just kind of overpowers him, because he needs some big armaments. Like this was one of my favorite characters to play with as a kid, and I am so thrilled that this is coming to the line in this scale. Look at the pack out is amazing. It's a nod to the vintage figure, and all the blast effects are so freaking cool. Yeah, even like the top of that the top of the drone looks very similar to the one that was in the vintage line, just on wheels. And so I think it's on tank treads. I think it's awesome.
But it also really is a wonderful accompaniment to the his tank. You know what I mean? You can definitely see these two going toe to toe. It's crazy.
Yes, and I'm actually surprised. So actually, I want to see if that drone, I wish we can turn it around, but if that had a tow hitch, that would be amazing, because there's nothing to put on the tow hitch, and they made such a big deal in the Hasbro live stream announcing the hiss that it had a tow hitch. And so I'm expecting stuff to go on there.
It definitely needs something to go on there for sure. I'm getting a lot of like Johnny Five vibes from that drone from the bottom
Oh
down.
my god, that's so true. That is so true. Oh my god, that's crazy.
No, I'm not going to see anything else, but
you have to buy this just for the blast effects. I mean, look at these things, like just this windswept blast. These cloud effects. look at these. Like, holy crap. Talk about blowing your Joes up. Like, that's crazy. Laser. It's not even laser. It's
Look at those
laser.
shiny red crystals.
Did anybody notice that? It's not laser. It's laser.
Laser.
Laser
Laser
guided.
guided.
Laser guided.
He has a
X0.
remote.
That's crazy.
Obviously, Scrap Iron does not know how to spell. Either that, or he's doing his own thing. He does not give a care. Crazy.
Honey badger.
And then we got ourselves a troop builder. Holy crap!
Yes.
This
we got
this came out of
ourselves.
left field.
Oh, it totally did. And so so when they did the unboxing for the Sky Striker, this is where when Lenny said they would be able to handle land and air, this is the exact troop builder pack that he was talking about and referring to. And going back to your comment, Jay, about the female figures in the lines, Hasbro is not afraid to put the female figure and the female figure bucks in here. We're getting the Cobra troop builders with a female figure. So hats off to you, Hasbro.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I'm totally in on this one. They don't seem to have any additional, but these are actually generic grunts though. Like, do they have names?
Yeah. So in the vintage line, it was the Steel Brigade. So that's where the steel comes from.
Got you.
And so the Steel Brigade, I think, was a mail away figure, and it came with a few different variants. And so I think this is a nod to that.
Yeah, they're called the Steel Corps.
I think the Steel Brigade was supposed to be kind of like the very first selfie series, because they were advertised to be like, oh, pick yourself as a character back then in the 80s. And then when the kids got them, they're like, these all look the same. They're not different. And that's why you have like Steel Brigade A and B and C. But they're slightly different, but they're pretty much the same character. And so the kids were a little bit disappointed on that. But no, these look great. And the pack out's amazing. And I love the little jet packs. And I'm going to steal that and put that on my Duke.
That's a good idea.
Because he needs it. Or Stalker, right? The jump pack. That's great.
They really do need an accessories pack, like for just to build out additional characters. Bobby Vala just released this crazy tin ammo box. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, these backpacks are just amazing and really harken back to the cartoon. Where they're just flying around with these crazy backpacks. It's just
that what this cues up and teases is a Grand Slam.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I totally went over my head. And of course, one of the absolute most anticipated figures and vehicles in the line, the Televiper and the Trouble Bubble. Holy crap. This is something I think everybody's been waiting for. I mean, like, it's so iconic. Just absolutely insane.
Yeah, and to have a Trouble Bubble in 6-inch scale is freaking amazing. And I'm so loving this. Like, this is one I don't army build, like, in general, but I do want a few of these Trouble Bubbles.
And Hasbro was actually very sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say they were brilliant because they packed it with 2 alternate heads, so then you can definitely army build, because you got 2 different flesh tones and that kind of more futuristic visor looking head alternate. So you definitely can buy several of these and then build your army, and they'll all look very different from each other. So that was a brilliant move for Hasbro.
Yeah. Price point, if the price point is right, I can see so many people buying 3, 4, maybe even 5 of these at the time. Like this, these are just crazy. And the Trouble Bubble has been teased multiple times throughout the years. I think at one point a lot of people were speculating that he might come with Dr. Mindbender, but so glad that he's coming with a Televiper. I mean, this is just an army building genius, actually, right here.
Oh, totally. And also too, like, now that you have the Crimson Twins, like they were riding the Trouble Bubbles in the cartoon. So I'm gonna buy a set for them, set for some other ones.
Genius.
They're going on.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Michael.
You're a genius. The pack out on here is incredible too. The pack out on here is incredible too. Sidewinder missiles, the actual Televiper communications pack. Is that a turret? What is that? Oh, that's for the front of this, right? Or am I mistaken?
Oh, so the original one came with a hose, And so I'm thinking maybe that's a
Oh.
hose that connects, or it's actually it. Oh, you know what it is? It's the hose that connects the that gun to the back.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
from here.
yeah.
Got you. From here to here. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
it. I see it. That would be nice to show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sorceress is right on the money. 1, 2, 3. You got to buy 3, right?
Yeah.
You just have to, right? And it just keeps you that ADD in your head. Well, now that I got 6 more heads, I need to buy 6 more. it's
Right.
it's a trap. It's a trap.
And that's a closed face shield, right?
It is. It's a fully enclosed efficient. Or you could basically say it's another bat. You know what I mean? In disguise. You could say something like that.
Oh geez, now I got to buy more. Thanks, Jay.
Oh my God, everybody! What a day! Like there are days where nothing happens. Like there are days where we're twiddling our thumbs and doing whatever, think about falling asleep, and then you have a day like today where it's just bang, 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 and it's just does not stop. Oh my God, guys! What is the takeaway for today? Like, let me like what are your thoughts? What can we infer from today, guys?
So I think we can definitely infer that MOTU is definitely not dead. It's so clear that this line is gonna be going on for a long time, and actually Mattel confirmed that in a tweet as well. So we're actually on their Instagram page too. So. What do you think, Toy Sorceress?
Oh, I fully agree. I'm so happy of the confirmation that MOTU is not dead, and super excited about the future for classifieds and the line that it's the direction that it's taking. Really honing back into that real American hero vintage like homage is fantastic. So that makes me really happy. And all the news today slightly derailed this guy's review. But I'll continue. Look forward to seeing Pighead review coming out soon. Had to put that on pause.
You guys do these twos, eh?
So, I actually put it for Michael. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I think I was busy with my day job, and I popped onto Slack, and she was like, "Hey, Pighead came up on Palmart. I got you one, and it's getting shipped to your house." I was like, "You were the best."
Those pesky day jobs. Oh my gosh!
Right.
Yeah.
How dare they? How dare they get in the way in the way of our enjoyment? Kim Gonzalez, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Very, very exciting day. You don't get too many days like this, I got to tell you. Like hit after hit after hit from multiple companies. I mean, again, Hasbro's just been killing it right now. From Transformers yesterday to Star Wars today, and then all of a sudden, just to preempt that and just cannibalize. Well, not really cannibalize, but basically sabotage each other and just start, putting announcements on top of announcements. You guys got to slow down. Like, calm down. We only have so much money. We only have so much money, guys. Take it easy on us. Oh my gosh!
And
crazy.
Shelf space. I need a bigger house now, man. I'm running out of display room.
just crazy. Colin says, "Bravo, Michael!" And yes, Toy Sorceress, so great. Very, very excited for you guys.
Thanks,
Let's take a few comments before we log off. Felipe Borrelli is saying hi from Brazil. Hey, Felipe, good to see you. Can you send us some toys from that? I'm just kidding.
We want some of those, 7-inch MOTU figures.
Lost it to Bostic. Jay said Whiplash is a new Eternia figure and the girthy boy with some funky pig head colored armor.
Yeah.
He's a thick boy. Emerald Knight Photo, good to see you, brother. Thank you again for being here tonight. Lemu Ria. But the lines are dead. Lemu, you're okay. We're okay. we're okay, Lemu. Pretzul Elu Black. I am totally bad with that. Pretzul Elu Black. I hope Grizzlor comes with an extra black face plate. I've always wanted black face Grizzlor. Nope, they are gonna they're gonna milk that one. I'm sorry. There's the one I wanted to see. I remember I had a blank earlier. rumor mill, and actually, hear this: plastic or fur?
It's got to be fur.
I'm guessing fur. It has to be fur.
I know it has to be, but again, will it? Right? Will it be plastic or will it be fur?
You know what? I'm kind of traumatized over that Wave 1 Mossman that was all plastic. I bought one and I ended up selling it. I flocked it myself.
You flocked it?
Did you
flock it?
It didn't look bad, but still, I just
couldn't.
I know. You flocked it good, didn't you?
I did flocked it good.
We're in the gutter today. We're right in the middle right now. It's the end of the night, guys. Nolan says, what scale are they again? 6-inch? I think
the Masterverse?
Yeah, I think
yeah, they're around 7.
They were talking the Brazilian ones are 7 inches.
Oh yeah, 7.
Yeah, the Brazilian ones are 7 inches. Danny, I always message Jay and Adam and Oz with anything I find. Thank you, Danny. I really do appreciate that. Danny actually does keep me on my toes. He's from the UK and always great. Juan Soto from Puerto Rico. Good to see you, Juan. Always great to see you, my friend. Helder Santos. What was that webpage? I can read and speak Portuguese. I could translate it. Thank you, Helder. We're good. Canal dos Soneros handles a lot of that for us. It's great. Rage de Brickshaw, the inside fake. Okay, I'm not 100% sure. I think I must have missed something there. Colin is all the way from New Zealand. Thank you, Colin. Wow, that's awesome. Again, Canal dos Mineros, many collectors were apprehensive about the future of the lines. Now it's time to lighten our hearts. Yes, indeed, Canal dos Mineros. Wonderful. Thank you so much for always keeping us in the loop. You guys are amazing. Lone Dragon. How about they finally make a Filmation accurate attack track? I'd buy that for $1.
Oh. Hell yeah.
I just like another attack track. They've only had one attack track, and then they had a Reveltech. Revell. I believe it was a Revell model kit, if I'm not mistaken. I think those are the only 2 attack tracks that have ever been released. Laser Gun Barbarian. See, laser. People need to stop being so lighthearted about what Scott's doing. He needs to be held to account. He's a big boy. He knows what he's doing. His reputation is done. People need to stop listening. Okay, easy. Laser Gun. Yeah, you're hitting some points there. You are. But everybody, you know what? Pencils have erasers for a reason. Okay, like seriously, let's all be cool. Let's all be cool. I mean, again, I respect the man for having the insights that many of us don't. And a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So eventually he's gonna be right, and let's just leave it at that. Let's leave it. Again, Scott, if you're out there, please come on. We'll all talk to you. Let's have a powwow. Let's talk about it. I think that's probably the best thing we do. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to Scott at one point. Skew Raider, need Laserbeak with you. Eject Operation Surveillance. Yes, if Laserbeak was with Jay, we would have those photos by now, 100%. My buddy's Customs, pay a friend to go take photos and run as fast as you can to meet up later in secret. Tanned trench coats, sunglasses, and brown hats to exchange the photos. Yes, dude, all Cloak and Dagger style, 100%. Thank you, my buddy's Custom. Skelevator's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Anyone else on pins and needles to see what the forthcoming Merman actually looks like? I am. I'm very, 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 very excited. But the way they handled the first release of Merman, I think the animation style was incredible with him. Seriously, it worked out really well. Ray Hernandez, I'm disappointed Merman is going to be a revelation. Well, you know what? He's still a classic-ish version. So think about it like the way Captain Lagartila ended up. You're probably going to get the same thing with Merman. Running a biker.
At least he'll have both eyes.
Hey there, Michael. And
I still can't get over that.
Oh, okay. Has Gerald ever talked to Hasbro about the classified cards? Do you do that already?
Yeah, so we actually used to do we actually used to make custom downloadable G.I. Joe classified series file cards, and it just became too much because the G.I. Joe classified series didn't come with file cards, and I thought that wasn't cool. But no, we haven't actually talked to Hasbro about doing that. I think they're just still sticking with their iconography, and you have to kind of go on their website and decode the classified files. So
yeah, they're trying to gamify it a little bit. So
yeah,
it's still a lot of fun. My buddy's customs, but with the fails of the on sale He-Man 4-pack, will they sell? I think we did talk about that. Yeah, I Toys R Us has money on this. she's got cash down. So send your bets to Toys R Us. Michael Blob, Michael Blobe. Michael Blobe?
Like Michael Bublé, but Blobe.
Michael Bublé. No, that's Canadian. Michael Blobe. I apologize, my friend. I hope you'll please. I hope I'm saying that right. Skeleton Warriors will most likely be an exclusive. They wouldn't show exclusives at a trade show. Huh.
Good point.
That's a good point, actually. But in that, Michael, you're technically wrong because they did. So there you go, Michael. The gauntlet has been tossed. Carol says the Skeleton Warriors might come with snake mouth. There you go. Exactly what you guys said.
She agrees with me.
Yeah, she does. She's you guys are right there. Scott Baker, I could see them bringing being a Mattel Creations exclusive. Absolutely, 100%. I think so too. Baroness of Toys, really enjoying the live stream. MOTU Geek Out, so much to be excited about. MOTU is alive. Thank you, Baroness of Toys. You're amazing.
Huge shout out to Baroness of Toys.
I was about to say you guys are friends, right? So
yes,
here to support 100%. Grant G just joined. Are Origins still going? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, Grant. You have no longer you no longer have anything to fear. Pride of Grayskull. It's a travesty that we don't have an attack track yet.
I love the Pride of Grayskull. I need to give him a shout out. We actually chat probably almost daily on Instagram. I love his wish list and just the engaging conversations.
There you go. Well, huge shout out to Pride of Grayskull, dude. You're amazing, my friend. King Panther. We asked. Sorry, we already asked this. Thank you, Noel. Appreciate that. One more time for the Baroness of Toys. That would be so rad. We need laser light figs. Yes, we do. We do indeed, my friend. And Neil Hunter Hyde. I'm so glad the only toy I collect is Masters Universe. I'll be in such financial ruin if I collected G.I. Joe. Join the club, man. Join the club. Absolutely crazy. Ramen Toys joined the house. Hello, Michael J. Hello, Jay. Michael, the lady on the right, Toy Sorceress. Apologies, I didn't catch your name and the chat. Sorry about. I should do one of these now. That's actually what I should be doing.
There you go.
Good to see you, Ramen. Pride of Grace says, "What's up, Michael? What's up?" Neil Hunter, we're thinking about the February 14th Mattel Creations figure will be Anti-Eternia He Skeletor, right? It would be a missed opportunity if they didn't do something Valentine's related. Why the heck would you do something on Valentine's Day? Don't they know that any nerd who actually has a significant other would be beaten to the nth degree if they actually did something?
They want to start fights.
Seriously.
Sure. Actually, Hasbro is doing the same thing because they're dropping a bunch of product on the 14th too. So I don't know what's going on. It's all this coordination that needs to happen that's not happening.
The teams obviously have forgotten that there's people in their lives, because seriously, that is a bad day if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we're gonna wind it down there. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I want to thank my special guests, Michael and Toy Sorceress from Toy Habits. Guys, tell everybody how they can reach you on the.
So you can go to our website, www.toyhabits.com. We are trying to keep everyone as up to date as possible when news breaks, and you can hear our thoughts and speculation on things that might be coming down the line. We're also on Instagram at Toy Habits website, so you can also check us out there and follow us there.
Yeah, so be sure to check out our website. We've got all the latest news. I'm sure we beat Tay and I on a lot of stories. Just saying it. Look at Michael. But yeah, come to toyhabits.com. We've got all the latest news, and we are continuing to grow the lines that we cover, because it's only me and Michael, but we've expanded. So we cover MOTU, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, wrestling figures, and we're expanding to some other, DC and some other stuff, and Thundercats, of course, love those. Shout out, because Wave 6 is out. They shipped from EE. I'm so excited. Except for Lionel. He's still in the queue.
But thank you so
come
much.
to Toy Habits.
Oh, you guys are more than always welcome here, guys. Like seriously, I love the toy news that you guys always bring, and I'm on that channel almost I'm on your page almost every day. So don't think it's a secret. Where does Jay get his news? He gets it from Toy Habits, of course he does. But yeah, no, guys, always a pleasure to have you guys here. It's always fun to get your insights and of course your expertise on everything. Those pesky day jobs, man. Those pesky day jobs. How dare they?
Yeah.
Neil Hunter Hyde says, single nerd here. Don't be jealous. Yes, my friend. We are not jealous at all. Pride of Grayskull says, bow. Masterverse bow. Come on, Mattel. It's a perfect...
Bo.
Bo. Okay. I'm like,
Bo.
they're spelled the same, man. They're spelled the same.
I get it.
It has to be Bo.
Well, how cool would that be to get Bo for Thanksgiving or for Valentine's Day? What am I saying? It's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
I am fried.
Well, so somebody wrote to me in the chat that we need more POW. We need more pop, and I'm like, what kind of pop do you want? And then he writes back to me, Princess of Power. I'm like, oh god.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, okay. It's been a long day. Nikki Kneecaps, have a good night, everybody. You too, Nikki Kneecaps. Really appreciate you being here tonight. Mr. Home Arcade. By the way, if you guys haven't checked out Mr. Home Arcade, if you want to see some satire, Master Universe videos, definitely check out Mr. Home Arcade. Very funny stuff. You guys will have a laugh. If we can't laugh at ourselves, who else can we laugh at? Colin says, I enjoy Toy Habits. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Colin. God Ravage says, hey, Jay, what's going on, Toy Ravage? God Ravage. Master Versal 200. Good to see you, brother. Customizer extraordinaire. Definitely head over and check out Master Versal 200. Wonderful channel. You guys will not miss it. Definitely check out his YouTube channel. All Fans Music, great show, y'all. Thank you so much. Crazy John T. We need a new bow figure. Bow. We need a new bow. I'm going to say that from now on. We need a new bow figure to fight the new Mola Ram figure. I'm never going to live that down. People are going to be talking about that forever. Frogmongers are shipping out. Yes, Frogmongers are shipping out. Absolutely. Pop is delicious. Yes, pop is absolutely delicious. Yeah, I'm buried tonight. Tonight I am absolutely buried. Yes, go ahead. Just bring it. Good night, all. I'm off to watch the first hour of stream and make dinner. Thanks here for keeping us all entertained and up to date. Yeah, on that note, guys, we will be logging off. Thanks once again to my very special guests from Toy Habits, Michael and the Toy Sorceress. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, guys. What an amazing day for Master Universe. What an amazing day for Star Wars. Yesterday was Transformers, and today G.I. Joe decided to ruin the party for Star Wars in the best way. The best way possible.
On G.I. Joe Day, how dare they?
The best way possible. Just try to take my day, will you? No, we are not going to let that happen. Guys, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. MOTU is not going anywhere, everybody. Guys, we are in for a lot of toys in 2023. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. Good journey. Geek proud.